Yay, we're here, we're live, we're on the internet. For the future.
Hello, interwebs.
Hello.
Hi, all of you. If you were here to react, I'd ask how we sound, but I'm going to rely on the little green bars and hope for the best.
How do we sound, internet?
Shout at us from the future!
Alright, hold on, I'm listening. They say we sound fine.
Oh, good, oh, good. That was nice of them. Very, very helpful.
Don't ask me how I heard them.
I mean, I'm assuming that Annis heard them with her D20 roll.
Not clearly.
So yeah, everyone, welcome back. We're on, I think, episode 10 now. So that's cool. Been doing this for a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, this is Fate Dreams In, Type Moon inspired D&D 5th edition urban fantasy adventure. Story so far is essentially a string of events happen which resulted in our heroes ending up in the Einzbern castle in Germany in the year 2005, fighting a giant vampire tree, a Child of Ainnash from the Tsukihime plots, and also a cameo in Case Files, if anyone's familiar with that. So that's cool. But yeah, so they fought their way through. They're helping the last Einzbern homunculus recover the castle. And now that the big tree's dead, in fact, we have the benefit of the land finally regaining its colors. Hooray. And so yeah, at the end of the last session, the group of you fought the big tree, and through the use of grenades, golems, and lots of fire, you subdued the tree and destroyed it. Along,
There.
yeah, a lot of fire. Along the way, however, Raps, your silk golem friend, was picked up by the tree and used as a hammer on Annis to knock the crap out of her, but Penelope saved her.
Yay.
Yay.
Through the power of Bard healing, and then Raps picking her up and running away. So yeah, the fight was pretty intense. A lot of things to fight, a lot of burning, a lot of damage happened. But ultimately, one blindly thrown into a sheet of pollen grenade finished the tree off. Following the battle, after getting your bearings, the tree itself died. Its big branches that were stretched out into the walls of the castle have now drooped, and they're a lot more like vines or cables. No longer the big and imposing things they were before, but they're still kind of around. They're there. All the little blights that it spawned have died. Most of them died in the actual fight, but the few remaining ones that were subdued kind of gave up the ghost once the tree itself died. In checking the tree, you found a root that, on a cursory inspection, you've gotten the impression it contains a ridiculous amount of mana, like a large chunk of the mana that was stolen from the region. And you don't really know what to do with it, but for right now, Annis has just sort of pocketed it to consider in the future. The tree itself, like I said, it's shriveling, but there are still large chunks of this thing that are more or less intact should you decide that you want to harvest necrotic wood, as the tree is technically a vampire. So that's probably got some cool uses. Other than that, just to recap like what we actually have going on around you in the courtyard right now. So you've got the big dead tree, big chunks blown out of the trunk where you've been attacking it. You have the Einzbern golem, which until very recently was being held up, but it sort of was dropped to the ground, and now that its job is done, it's just sort of sitting there waiting for new orders. It's taken some damage. In fact, just as a general recap of where we're at on damage, Raps, the silk golem is now at about, in fact, it's exactly at half of its original maximum health, which is unfortunate for Raps. It's a thing that doesn't really regain health on rest or anything. It's more of a static thing built to last until it doesn't. So Raps is half the giant golem it used to be. The big guard golem for the Einzberns is It's actually doing pretty well. It's sturdy. It's made of stone. Like, it got thrown around a little bit, but it seems largely fine. Your bird has returned after throwing a doll at the tree and sicking a crazy berserker shadow on it, which then grabbed its doll and ran presumably back to where you found it now that it was happy again. Kwaku doesn't have any damage. Echo got hit a little bit, but not too badly. Most of the damage in that fight went to the golems and then to Ainnash when she got slammed, but she's since been healed up. So that about sums up where things are now. So here you are. You're in a courtyard. You got a big dead tree, some dead blights, the corpse of the golem that you don't know, but you saw in the flames at least. The one who actually runs this place.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's that pile on the other side of the tree trunk. And you've got the castle itself. So you are free to explore as you see fit.
I mean, I definitely wanted to see if I can find that room, that like high-tech room where all of the homunculi were being made.
Okay.
Penelope wants to find the phone.
All right. Would you like to go exploring? Do you want to ask one of the characters with you?
Just gonna ask it. Echo.
Yes?
You said there was a phone in this castle, right?
Yes, the master from the Fourth War had one installed during his time here, and we never really took it out. It's up next to the master bedroom.
Okay, cool. How do I get there, and can I use it?
I don't mind if you use it, and yes, it's on the 5th floor. We can get there from the main staircase inside. Well, there's a giant tree blocking a few of the entrances, but I think we could get around it and head up.
Alright, cool. I would like to go do that.
Are you locked on the map?
Okay, there we go.
There you go. Okay, because I didn't think it was locked, but it's good to know.
Just gonna try to like walk around all of the like dead stuff.
That's fair. While you're doing this, Kwaku is just checking out the tree, and he's cutting some chunks out of it. Might be able to use these for something good later.
God, I was half asked about stuff.
Yeah, Raps is helping with this task by just breaking big chunks out of it.
There's plenty of time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kwaku, before I head upstairs.
Yes?
Do you think that are you capable of making instruments? Is that a thing you know how to do?
I should be able to, as long as I have something comparable to compare against.
Okay.
So if you have a normal instrument and you would like another one similar to it made, I could do that.
Okay. All right. Save some of that for me then, because I have a job for you, sir.
Sure. Are you going to do something dark and metal with it? I think that's what the music is.
Mostly just metal, I guess.
Fair enough. I will be sure to harvest something sufficient for you. I'm actually going to get as much as I can before this thing shrivels up.
Awesome. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll leave you to it. Gonna stepping around the tree.
Alright, Echo's gonna follow you.
Oh, there's... So you gonna be okay?
Actually, yeah, she's gonna stop over here for a second first. That makes more sense. Alright, let's just see if we can find his core, and then we can get another one going. It's been a while since a new one of these has been made, but we'll need that. She's gonna check the body. in this crazy world where NPCs are rolling investigation.
Hey.
She is not proficient. Comedy ensues. Or she hits a nat 20. That's cool too.
Wow.
Yeah, like that is fair.
So, is he okay?
Oh no, he's quite crushed.
Oh, good.
But more importantly, his core is missing.
Ooh.
Which is better than finding it crushed, I suppose. My guess would be that he removed it before he came out here. That would buy him some time, at least, if he knew he was going to be crushed. Like, if we can find out where his core ended up, we should be able to build him a new body and reactivate him. So this is actually a good thing, but I have no idea where he would have put it. So I guess keep an eye out for a strange metal device about the size of a human heart.
Will do.
Okay. Ooh. Oh no. Hold on, I think I broke the map.
Oh no.
Nope, okay.
So if you're trying to get in, the easiest way would probably be to go straight ahead, and that would take us to the 3rd floor, which would be where the homunculi live, so it should be fairly empty at this point.
Okay. Stairs.
I guess I'll follow.
Actually, no. Scratch what I just said, now that I'm looking at the map again for the first time in forever. No, the easiest way would be to go the north path. Otherwise, you'll end up in the guest building.
So, this way?
Yeah, that one.
Woo!
It's one of those things that I remember laying this out, but I forgot that the connection between those is like almost nothing, so it's just a stupid path. This is what happens when we use a real map for our castles.
How dare.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to move you up to the 3rd floor.
Moving on.
So actually, I'm going to get all this dead stuff off the combat tracker. Bring out your dead. All those twigs that we don't need.
I'm not dead yet.
Dead enough.
I feel happy. Oh, ow.
I kind of feel like Bring Out Your Dead is one of the sub-themes of the Fate franchise in general. Alright, all that crap's off this list now. Awesome. Let's drop you guys on a new map. Okay. Behold, a map that I need to give you the ability to see on.
Oh no!
It's just me and the void.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Behold the void.
Alright, let's just unmask the entire courtyard for your sake.
The void is dead. Nothing suspicious about this void.
Yep. Thankfully, the other floors are simpler since they don't need to capture the entirety of the courtyard anymore.
Damn.
But yeah, from up here, so that you can see about this much. Cool. All right, and there's a door directly ahead of you. Can you move around in the map?
Yeah.
Hooray. All right, well, you are free to go inside because the door is not locked. In fact, it's not even on its hinges.
All right. Opening the door.
Da-da-da-da.
It's a...
Yeah, all right, so you walked around up there. I'm going to show you, just from looking down the hallway, you can see to about here. There's some droopy branches that make it a little bit harder to see past that, but since they're droopy and not full, I'll just let you see about that far into them. Of note, there's a door right here. Let me make this a little extra just so you can tell where it is. Looking forward, since you can see down the hall this way. A bit of that much. All right, so you're finally inside this part of the castle. One thing that you can notice from in here is that most of the lighting is actually natural lighting. You've got little windows, which are letting in sunlight, which is appreciated throughout the hallway. In fact, this is a really fancy building, as you would expect from a castle. At the front, you were at the gatehouse, which was mostly stone and, you know, war stuff. Now you're in the fancy parts with the big murals on the walls, the pomp and circumstance. You've got curtains. You've got lots of stuff in red and white colors throughout, which is pretty neat. When Ainnash walks in, this is uncomfortably familiar because recently you sort of experienced a version of this from over 1,000 years ago. One thing to note about it, though, is that it's not as different as you would expect for so much time to have gone by. Like, it has not been given many modern upgrades at all. Like, you don't even see electrical lighting in here.
So this is the hallway, or it's a hallway like the one I remember?
It's a hallway like the one that you remember. It's the one that you looked through before was on a higher floor because you could see down and you could see the village under it. This is a bit lower than that, but the style is similar. Like, you can tell you're in the same castle.
Gonna walk.
Guess I'll follow.
Like, am I able to get around the branches?
Yeah, they're not preventing you from walking through. So Echo's going to call from down the hall. Be careful with that building over there. That's the hall that Kiritsugu like to use for training.
Oh.
It's use at your own risk.
Training? How so?
One of his responsibilities was to make sure that Irisfield, the master slash, I guess, Grail in the Fourth Grail War, could stay safe. So he, as I understand it, I've never been in there myself, but my understanding is that he used that space to teach her to pay attention. But given his personality, I can't imagine that's safe.
Ooh.
We don't go in there. We've pretty much abandoned that entire hallway. It's really not worth the trouble. We don't really need the space. Homunculi have sufficient rooms as is. A lot of that is holdover from when the castle was actually populated by people. That said, if you would like to go through possibly more of his stuff, it could be in there. Just keep an eye out. But if you're looking for a phone, it would be back in this direction.
Oh. Maybe later. Or maybe later for the potential gun room.
Who knows? Let's go up the main stairs, just to be further away from the tree.
Whee! Just runs into Echo, just
Bump.
bonk.
All right, she's gonna open the intact door that's over here. Live in that dream. All right. Freehand draw this because the real castle's not nearly as grid-like as I would like it to be.
With the collection. Kiritsugu. I've never met this person, but God is passable.
I'm gunned.
And gun.
It's true, you've used his grenades now. That's gotta be like some kind of friendship, right?
It's like, I've used your artillery. That means we're best friends.
It's possible.
Ooh. Oh no.
All right, up the stairs we go.
Wee.
Boop.
Choo,
Yeah,
choo.
there's-
For a second there, it looked like you were taking the private stairs. Which you can do if you so desire.
These are Annis's private stairs?
If she's willing to take the tiny ones. All right. Do. Behold, the fourth floor in all of its glory. I'm not going to bother dragging you to it because you're going to the fifth floor, but I just want you to know it exists.
Yeah.
Yay! Honestly, this is just a make Will load every single map challenge.
Yep.
There's going to be more of those. But your actual destination is the fifth floor. So this one I'm going to move your tokens to after I make it visible for you. And you can close these as we go. I will be happy to share them again. You don't have to keep them all open.
Cool.
I have
just
them.
see nothing but a void right now.
Yeah, same.
Yep. Yep, unfortunately I have to redraw the lobby thing each time. I think for future
Ugh.
maps I'm going to pre-draw the parts that I expected to come in on, but for this one, I didn't know which way you wanted to go up.
Gotcha.
All right, let's move you. Boop. Not there.
Whoop. Whoop. Oh no.
There you go.
There we go.
Can't move.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Well, looks like Penelope's got the zoomies again.
Send help.
I'm waiting for you to just run that entire path. Your token to just choo choo
Oh.
choo.
I will
Like
turn that on
pinball.
then.
Oh no!
You
Get
got
stuck.
You okay?
Oh,
She got stuck.
did you fall down the stairs? You all right down there?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Did you fall down the stairs?
Nope, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Don't worry about it.
I've got a healing word.
I'll take one of those, but I'm fine.
Okay.
Ugh. Who put these stairs here? Rude.
If it makes you feel better, the people that built these stairs died a long time ago.
Good. I mean, what? Good. That means I don't have to fuss at anybody for putting stairs there.
That's the spirit. All right. Well, this is the fifth floor. This is where the masters of the castle lived when they were here. pot of the nickel tor. I suppose the throne room is over there. She points to the right. But where we're going with the phone is this way. And she proceeds to walk down here. Starts opening doors.
Tag along.
All right, so welcome to the coat room. Do you have anything you don't want to wear inside? By all means.
I think this is the only outfit I have on me right now, so...
Mostly this is where people keep their shoes, but I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Cool. Wait, is this where the phone is?
We're getting there.
Oh, okay. Say, a coat closet is an odd place for that.
It's in a different closet.
Oh, okay. Woo.
Oh, is Annis down there? Because I can draw more of what you can see if you are.
Yeah, I was gonna check out the rest of the floor while
Okay.
we made her phone call.
All right, then. I will show you more of the floor around you. Just going to go ahead and draw this part because you can see it. More stairs. And right now, you've got a window. Hooray. In fact, there's no reason to do the funny shaping thing. There you go. Now, when you look out this window, you actually do get a feeling of familiarity because this was the window that the flashback person was looking out before where she could see the town.
Hmm.
You kind of get the impression that it was a little bit higher up, but this is the same angle.
Hmm.
And since you're looking around, I'll go ahead and just clear out the rest of this room.
Do I remember what floor that lab might have been on, or directions for how to get there?
You get the impression, like memory-wise, that it was the 6th floor, which would be one above where you're at now. Like, it's kind of this weird muscle memory where, like, you don't know, but you can kind of feel your body autopiloting if you just sort of don't think too hard about it.
Hmm.
Okay, so for Penelope's reference on the room that she's in right now, the room that you're in right now it's largely open. You can't really see it in the map, but there's like a container to, not a container really, like there's like a small table, like a small setup table where the ones that you would see in restaurants where people, like cover with trays so that they can serve everyone together. There's one of those propped up in the corner. Which makes a little bit more sense in a moment when the next room opens up and you can see draw the line. You can see a tiny dining room.
Oh.
So it doesn't take much to realize that this is the room where they'd be setting up the food before they bring it into that room.
Cool.
Yeah. It's actually pretty small for a dining room. It seems kind of quaint. All right, and then Echo's gonna let you open up the big room. Welcome to the master bedroom.
Wait, so the master bedroom is attached to the dining room?
This is where the masters can eat small meals. The banquet hall is much larger.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
One of the perks of having a castle is having multiple rooms for all purposes.
That's fair.
Okay.
A neat room. Sure, this.
Yep.
Pardon me, it's like, jump out the window! Oh!
That is your choice.
Nah. I'm good.
All right, now we'll head through the dressing room, which is also huge.
Ooh.
And there's actually a door open to the bottom right, which you can see is devoted more for actually changing. Since you're wandering around and looking, there's a lot of clothes in here that might actually fit you.
Huh.
A lot of girls' clothing.
It's gonna start rifling through the rack.
Okay, well, doing so, you will find one familiar outfit because you observed a small girl who was stuck outside with a bunch of wolves wearing it at one point in history. So there's that. You found one of those. There's actually a lot of them. There's a lot of red and white outfits. There's a white and purple outfit with a little cylindrical hat on top. It looks kind of like a Russian design. Variety of things. They're all nice. Like, they're very soft, high quality clothes.
We're still wearing the not maid outfits.
The Einzbern servant outfits?
Yeah, the homunculus outfits. Although, yeah, in the case of Penelope, hers was made a little bit smaller.
Just gonna poke her head out the door. Whose clothes are these? They're cute.
Those belong to Master Ilyasfield von Einzbern.
Ah.
She went off to the Grail War last year and did not return, so I would wager. Feel free.
Oh. This is suddenly gone from, it's a cute closet to, oh no, it's an estate sale.
In a manner of speaking, yeah. All right, and then she's going to come up here, and she's going to... All right, up here's the living room. You can find the phone in the privacy closet beyond it.
Okie dokie. Oh no. I'm blocked. Oh, there we go.
The trick is going through the wall.
Clearly.
Okay, so walking into the big room, this room is actually, as was described, it's a living room. There are actually sofas, lots of seats. It's wide open space, nice rugs. It's pretty comfortably spacious. Oddly enough, you can actually see a little bit over this way, like there's a door that's closed. But as you walk by it, it feels slightly more humid than where you were before, and most of the rest of the room.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Just gonna try the doorknob.
Oh yeah, it's not locked. So when you do that, you open the door, and you see something that could best be described as an indoor grotto. It's very nature heavy. There's lots of plants. There's like a small makeshift pond. It's really pretty, actually. It seems to be incredibly well maintained. And as you open the door and you step in, you feel a little bit more humidity, like almost like you're stepping into another climate. Like the rest of the castle is fairly dry, but this one feels a bit warmer. It's not quite tropical, but it does feel like you've stepped into another place. Like as someone who's traveled across Europe, the place that it most reminds you of would be actually when you were traveling in the forest of more the France region. So a little bit less icy cold compared to Germany. Feels very naturey.
Gonna poke her head back out the door and be like, "Hey, let's go check this out."
Be right there. So I guess I'll.
They've been leaving doors open as they go, so you could follow them later if you wish.
Table here.
What was that?
Oh, I made a joke that I vaulted right over the table here.
That is
I
your
didn't-
choice.
I didn't actually, but
Yeah, come look at this. Look.
oh, huh? What an interesting thing to find in a castle.
I know, right?
I guess I should roll some kind of check, like a nature check. Or
You can roll a nature check, yeah.
find my character. There
Okay.
it is.
Oh my god, Echo, what is this room? What is this?
Okay. So, for Annis checking the room, this place actually has some familiarity to you because it reminds you of when you were learning, like druidic crafts and things like that. It gives you the vibe that you had when you were out in the woods and you were studying under your druidic teachers. There's a certain geomancy to the room. Like, you can't make out what exactly it's aiming for, but this is very deliberate. This isn't just random nature for the sake of nature. Echo sort of speaks up and goes, "Oh yes, this grotto was put in by one of the previous masters. I believe it was in service to. I'm not really an expert on the history of it, but I believe it was meant to be in service to the Fae. It's one of those things where, like, we haven't done much with it since the golem took over, but long ago, when this castle was run by humans, they tried all manners of alchemy, which included reaching out to other entities and learning whatever they could from whatever they could. And we maintained this out of respect. But I believe the idea originally was to use this to contact the Fae and to get answers for our questions. I don't know if they ever actually did or not. A lot of the knowledge was unfortunately lost when the people left, and we've been focused pretty exclusively on recovering the third magic through homunculi and alchemy instead. But as mentioned, we do make a point of keeping it up, and to credit, the room actually seems to manage a lot of this on its own. It's almost like something else is handling it for us. It's a bit creepy, but speaking as someone who also uses nature magic, I have found it to be a soothing place to visit from time to time. In fact, you can actually see a little bit more up here. And she pokes in and opens the door on the right to the north, which leads into a room that feels a bit more like a greenhouse. Like, it's got way more light coming in through the windows. And more plants are growing in there. It's almost like a garden.
Oh, we'll go check that out.
It's full of vegetables, fruits and vegetables. Like, there's actual food in here. Yeah, it's a bit helpful when you can't really just call in for grocery delivery to grow some of your own food.
That's true.
We don't really need to eat it, but we do have guests from time to time.
I'm guessing I can identify the plants and stuff.
Yeah, you know enough from looking at them that it is a lot of... It's actually interesting. So there's a bunch of plants here. They wouldn't normally all grow in the same climate, but it just seems to be working out. You've got a combination of tropical fruits. You've got tomatoes. You've got... you can tell just from looking down that there are all manners of root vegetables. So this entire thing feels like the sort of thing that you would like to have been able to set up, but you're at the mercy of London.
Aren't we all?
I'm gonna roll Arcana to see if I can get a sense of why it is like this.
Sure.
How they did it.
Okay. So while you're checking this out, you you do notice there's this feeling that you had before from when you were redirecting the ley lines. Back when you were at the ghost thing, you remember it was sort of split in different directions. The one that you could redirect away from the tree was going directly to the castle, but the other one was going down. And this feels like the mana that you couldn't reach going that way. Like maybe it went down and then doubled back up sharply into a specific part of the castle.
Oh.
So it's sort of odd to you because ley lines are generally not things that go up or down so much as across the surface of the world. But that one going down was strange, and it's possible that it went down and then sort of angled right back up to here. Which would have kept it out of the reach of the tree.
With that roll, do I see any, like, spells or magical items or anything that's affecting, like, that's making it possible for all of these different plants to all grow in the same area? Or do I get the sense that it's the ley line doing that?
You don't see any specifics, but, well, actually, hold on. Let me check something. Actually, yeah, so you rolled a 13 for that? As a druid, this would be enough for you to know. You can find a sense that you've seen a spell do this before. It's something that's called plant growth, which it's a, like, in the meta, it's a 3rd level spell that causes things to grow for about 8 hours and then last about a year. So that's why it was kind of odd to you that you would see it here, but apparently the spell was cast at some point in history and the connection to the ley line has just kept it up. Like someone found a way to use the ley line to essentially increase the duration indefinitely, which is pretty sweet, all things considered. Like, they're using it for something simple, but if that's a thing that you could learn how to use, that would definitely help out your potion crafting.
I am definitely taking note.
Oh, go for it, yeah. You don't really see, like, any circles or anything to that effect, but just knowing this is a possibility gets your mind running in a few different directions that could be worth digging into later. Alrighty. And just for context, out the windows to the top, you can see the lake. So, like, the lake is off in that direction. Meanwhile, for Penelope's sake, the phone is located in that room on the top right. It has a door that you can close for privacy and everything.
Gonna boop. Hello.
All right, you're in.
Do you want some fruit or vegetables? I don't think they're using them, so they probably don't mind us taking them.
Sure, grab whatever.
All right, so in here you find a rotary phone.
Oh, God.
Thankfully, you're old enough to know how to use those.
Yeah. It's kind of like, oh, boy, I haven't seen one of these in a while. Picks it up and she just dials. Well, she leans her head out the door. Is there anything special I have to do to connect the phone, or any number I have to dial, or is it just good to go?
I have no idea how those work.
All right, cool. So she's just gonna try and dial her manager's number.
Sure. So, admittedly, partially to your surprise, it does have a dial tone when you pick it up. This is a working phone, which is also, like, it's one of those things that you think about for a second, and a rotary phone is probably the only kind of phone that would work without power.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
this is sort of working in your favor because you've not seen a single electrical outlet in this entire place. But okay,
Oh,
so
boy.
yeah, you know the number, or at least you can look at your BlackBerry to find out what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're dialing them up.
Yep. Ring, ring.
Bring, bring. All right, so after a few rings, you finally get a click, and you can hear your manager's voice on the other end. Hello?
Oh my god, hi! Hello!
Penelope, is that you?
It's me!
You're alive. Where are you? Are you okay? Are you safe?
Yeah, I mean, sort of, yes? I mean, I'm not dead.
I haven't heard from you since the train. That was days ago. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. Okay, so it's really weird and kind of bonkers, and then she just, basically gives him the whole story.
Okay.
Start to now.
Okay, right. So, people on the train, that's bad, that's bad. A saloon, that's weird. Yeehaw chili, interesting. Okay, and so statues, right? Okay, a bird, a strange bird, right? Elementals, what? That's special. That's okay. And then there were more statues. There's a homunculi woman, a witch, possibly. Okay, and then there were ghosts, and then you saw the past, maybe. I don't know. And now you're in a castle, and also there was a giant tree, and you killed it with grenades.
Yeah. And I found a passport.
And you found well, I'm glad you found a passport, but I already got you one of those. You shouldn't need someone else's. Anyway, no, so you're in a castle.
Yeah.
And you're safe.
I mean, as far as I know, the only thing that's trying to kill me right now is the tree, so... Yeah. The tree's dead.
I'm glad you killed a tree with grenades.
You know?
That's a story that I didn't expect to hear from you, but... Given your life and the stories that you've told me before, I believe all of this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
so...
I tracked your phone, and I'm currently near what I believe you said was a saloon.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm driving up now. Do you want me to find you in the castle?
That might not be the best idea. If you just hang out at the saloon, tell Gunter you're with us.
Right,
and
okay.
We'll be back.
I'll do that. Will you be back today? Like in a few hours? Do you need more time now that you're probably exhausted?
I mean, a little more time wouldn't hurt.
Well, as long as you're safe, I'll stay at the saloon. I'll get a better sense of what's going on. Like, obviously, it's good that you're not touring right now. That would be very inconvenient, but we have time, and it sounds like you've got stories to tell. Maybe you can write a song about it.
Maybe.
Some sort of ballad.
Hold on.
Those go over well right now.
Yeah. So, yeah. Just wanted to make sure you knew I wasn't dead.
I'm very glad you're not dead. In fact, actually, it's good you got off when you did, because you probably haven't got a lot of news where you're at, but those people that were waiting to jump you in when you arrived at the actual intended destination, yeah, they were arrested. It was a big news shakeup. Apparently, the story as it was reported all over in the news. Apparently there were terrorists who were planning on doing something horrible in Cologne, but someone anonymously tipped off that they were coming, and they were rounded up in advance.
Huh.
Was that you?
Yeah.
You said that you got a phone and you called some people.
I mean, I did, but, I don't think that was it. The last few days have been weird.
That's very understandable. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to when I get to the saloon, I'll give your regards to this Gunter fellow, and I will get a room, and I will wait for you to come back. But if I don't hear from you, since I'm gonna add this number to my phone, it's a strange number by the way, but I'll add it to my phone and just let me know when you're coming, and I will meet you wherever you need to go. I'll have the car waiting for you.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, I will let you know.
Very good then. So stay safe. Do not get eaten.
I can't guarantee anything.
I would prefer you don't get eaten.
Okay. I'll do my best.
All right. I'll see you shortly.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hangs up.
And a click.
Look. All right, cool. I'm dead. That's all I need.
Annis is gathering whatever fruits and veggies are like available that look like they're ripe. She's not taking too many.
Do you need
Okay.
help with those?
Sure. Sure. I suppose a second hand couldn't hurt.
Woo. Apparently, I'm phasing through the wall.
Good for the plants if we remove the fruits and vegetables so that they can grow more.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cool.
Circle of life and all that.
Love that.
What are you talking about?
You haven't seen The Lion. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think, if she would have seen like the Broadway version of it, if it was out back then.
I imagine it was. It's 2005. By then they would have done it.
Oh, that's a movie? I saw it on stage in New York once.
Oh. I don't know that I've actually seen the stage version of it, but yeah, it was a movie.
Huh.
We'll have to compare notes.
I suppose, yes.
But were the two of you talking about the Circle of Life before?
Yeah!
I don't know what you're referencing, but it occurs to me that the two of you might be interested to know that there is a bathroom next to the master bedroom.
What does that have to do with the Circle of Life?
Is there a shower?
No, you would have to go down to the baths for that.
I believe...
More just a matter of acknowledging that I don't think either of you have had access to a bathroom for several days.
I mean, that's true.
I'm a druid. We use the woods.
I thought you were going to say druids don't poop. And it's just like, I don't know if that's true.
Don't poop. We use all of everything that we eat all goes into our body. No. We just use the woods.
But yes, if you would like to bathe, the second floor has a rather large bath.
I believe I would like to head up to the 6th floor next. Actually, would she have told? Was there a point where we told what Annis saw and what Penelope saw, or?
I believe the two of you gave a very brief overview of the things that you saw. I don't remember if you spilled all the details.
Right. I had a weird vision when I was moving the ley line of someone in Einzbern that lived and worked here in the castle, and there was a strange lab where I don't remember her. Like Kim doesn't remember her name. The first homunculus.
Justice.
Justice. Where Justice was first born, I guess. Anyway, there's a lab on the 6th floor, at least I'm fairly certain, and I'd like to check it out.
Oh, that works fine for me. We need to go up there to check on the proper terminal for the golem regardless. We can actually
Right.
go up there from right here. There's stairs right in this room.
Really?
It's the
I
scenic route, but it will work.
Oh.
Oh, and just because I didn't crop it as well before, just to give you a better sense of the room that you're in. It's actually, even though you're in a grotto, there's a door right there to the left as well.
I'll go poke my head in.
Okay.
Whatever's over there.
So when you touch that door, it doesn't open. In fact, like you can sort of see it represented on the map of a little bit of purple, but in practice, like it's not actually purple. It's just that's made giving you a visual indicator that when you touch the door, you can feel something pushing back on you with equal force.
I will reach up and knock. Anyone in there?
So oddly enough, when you knock on it, it doesn't make any sound.
Oh.
It's like it's just not taking the force. Oh, that's the library. It's sort of locked. I believe you need a key to get in.
Well, I wasn't interested before, but then you said library, and now I'm very curious.
Yes, as I understand it, the library contains the research from the original Einzberns. Once the golem took over, there really wasn't as much use for it. The golem essentially gathered all the information into himself and managed things from there. I think the only people that have actually used that library since then were, as I understand it, Justice and the two other founders of the Grail War ritual spent some time in there preparing and then more recently, Kiritsugu, the master in the Fourth Grail War, spent a few moments in there before deciding it wasn't very useful to him. Since then, it's been locked. I don't actually know where the key is.
Do you perhaps have any lockpicking skills?
I don't
either.
I'm
And
not
I
sure that you would be
doubt
able to do that. It's a bit more magical than that.
Suppose we could have Raps just hammer it down either. Magical.
I would recommend
Probably
against it. It would probably hit him back as hard as he hits it. It's one of the
Probably
most
in the
secure
type-
parts of the building so that the books inside are safe.
Well, I am quite curious, but I think we'd have to search the whole castle to find the key.
It's quite possible. The best guess that I would have would be to perhaps search the archivist quarters. That would be the
Where
last
would
person
those-
who actually used it properly.
Where are those?
They're located above the area that you were trying to go to before, that Kiritsugu repurposed.
Ah.
We
So-
don't go there at all, so if the keys are still there, that's probably untouched.
in that place on the third.
So it would be on the 4th floor, where we'd need to go to find the keeper.
Yes, you would have to go to the 4th floor.
Well, we can keep that in mind. So, as we're moving, I guess we're searching for the key and the thing for the golem man.
The
Oh,
core,
yeah.
yes.
The core, yes. All right. Well, since we can't go through this door, I guess let's go up.
Okay.
And at some point, I'm coming back to raid that closet.
As is your right.
I'm not gonna like, unless you want me to specify what fruits and veggies, and if there were
No.
any herbs, I would have definitely grabbed some herbs. But
No,
if
it's a sufficiently large variety that you can. I'm going to operate on the assumption that you took things that make sense.
yeah.
So
if in the future I'm brewing a potion and
if they're the kinds of things that would have been in there, you can say you have them.
Cool.
Like none of them are like crazy supernatural things that are all just real plants.
But not anything super weird like a pineapple or a guava or cashews or something.
Right. Like these are more just naturally occurring in Europe at different climates plants. You're not going through there and finding like the golden apple that started the war with Troy or anything.
Right. No. Well, darn. There goes my plan.
I know that was your planned catalyst.
Yes, clearly.
That's how you, I guess, end up with Paris, which you probably don't want Paris.
No.
Probably not ideal.
Let's say Paris as in the Pokemon.
That would have also been funny.
Strange little creature. It's got mushrooms growing on it. It's also just saying its name over and over. And oh, it's hugging me. Okay.
Oh no.
Annis would end up with a Parasect.
She'd probably be happy with it.
Oh, we should make Pokemon teams.
Oh my god.
You'd have a Jigglypuff.
Stop.
We're gonna be playing Switch, I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we are now moving on up to the 6th floor. Which you'll now be able to walk around on. And hey, look. It's a big old hallway.
This looks familiar to me, right?
Yeah, this definitely does.
No,
So specifically, your memory is triggering pretty immediately. You know that the room directly south of you on the other side of the door that's next to Penelope is where you spent all of that time with all of the tanks and all of that stuff. And then walking out in the hallway, you got the view of the lake. But then walking to, I guess, the left from the perspective of this map took you to the more main areas where you could eventually see out those windows that showed you the town. So this is a routine walk that you took several times. Like, you didn't usually come in through the grotto door, because that's more like the private entrance for the masters, but you do recognize coming through this area.
The place that I saw when I was experiencing the past, I guess. This is that hallway. So the laboratory you said was this way?
It's to the south. It's right. There's a door right under Penelope.
It's that door right in front of you. Should lead to that laboratory.
Okay.
The door's not open.
It's not, but it's also not locked. So you can just open it if you want.
Go in.
Okay. Takes him through the wall.
Whoosh. All right, so from in here, big old room. Alrighty, so in this room, I'm not going to share the picture again because I'm throwing enough pictures at you, but yeah, this is the room with the vats.
Are the vats still in there?
Yeah, they are. They look suspiciously exactly the same as how you remember them. The room still has vats. Really, it's depressing how little has changed since the memories, even though that was 1,100 years ago. It looks almost the same. Things that you recognize about this room are that it has those vats in it.
Are there people in the vats?
As it turns out, yeah, there's some just sort of floating around in there. Seems like they've just been on standby for a while. So, hey, there's a batch of homunculi waiting to be hatched. The devices that are used to control them are exactly the same as you remember them too. You can tell just from looking around that the ridiculous, chance encounter that you had that led to Justice being formed, they've changed no variables at all. They've been doing the exact same thing for 1,100 years, hoping to make it happen again. So yeah, all of the down here area is full of those vats. Also, off to the left of the map, you see that little raised area with a few pillars.
Mm-hmm.
Up at the top of that is a large black monolith up against the wall. Like, for Penelope, this does look like the 2001 Space Odyssey one. You know that from just popular culture. For Ainnash, this looks a bit more like just a giant black slab that all the light in the room hits, but none of it bounces back off of. It's kind of disturbing to stare at for too long because it's blacker than it should be.
I'm going to roll. Would it be Arcana, Investigation?
What are you trying to determine?
What it is, what it's doing, why it's there.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll Arcana first.
I'm also going to need to get water. Oh, that's a 1.
Okay, it is absorbing light. Clearly, the room was too bright before, and this thing is, helping with that problem.
I don't have any memories of it, right?
Do an intelligence check.
Please
We're going
don't
to see if you
do
can
it.
piece something together for it.
Huh.
Yes, you can. All right, so you do have memory of back when Justice was first created. They needed, as more and more of the people in the Einzbern group started to lose hope, started to despair, they started killing themselves or running away and all of that kind of stuff. Control of the castle was given over to a golem. Specifically, it was given over to an artificial intelligence. They didn't call it that at the time, but that was in a similar to this block that was set up in here, and then the golems were created to allow it to actually walk around the castle and interact with stuff, because it's just a big slab otherwise. Looking at the slab in that context, you can tell that the slab itself is a little more advanced than the original one, because the one that you saw was more stone with some engravings on it. This one definitely has more complicated elements at work, because it's completely black, and no stone is that black. You get the sense that maybe this was built. But also, it's just sort of there. It doesn't glow. It doesn't move. It's simply standing there in place, huge and ominous, looking over the room.
Do I remember what it was for? Or I guess the first one?
Yeah, so the original one was made to act as the intelligence that runs the castle. And then the golem was made as an extension of it. The golem in and of itself was just almost like a puppet that it walked around in, so that it could actually interact and talk to people. But the actual mind of it, the core of all of it, was really just this thing. So this sort of makes sense for what Echo was saying before. You sort of pieced all this stuff together pretty easily from your intelligence roll, that the golem body from downstairs, the one that was crushed outside, was really just a shell that the actual intelligence, the actual castle's master, was walking around on, and that might have been why it was willing to let it get crushed to send away the threat. With the idea that the threat probably thought it was done with its business once it crushed the master of the castle and killed all the homunculi. But presumably the core that was taken would be the thing that allows the big slab thing in front of you right now to connect to a body and control it. And that might be why you have to get it back.
Okay. Well, I believe this is, I guess, brain of that golem. The call that we're looking for would allow the golem itself to connect to this slab, which is, again, not quite the brain, but it's what controls the golem and the castle itself, seems.
Okay.
Yes, that is accurate. It's that is Jubsterschreit, which I, as a player, cannot pronounce because I don't speak German. But yeah, for people familiar with Fate Zero specifically, like that is the core that drives Oct, the old white-haired guy who's kind of a dick to everybody. But yes, that would be it. That's it's good to see that it's intact. That means that if we can just get the core back, we could, well, take on the difficult challenge of building a new body for it, but we could get it back online and it could get back to running the castle. Right now it's at the mercy of whatever we can do.
And has anything been done recently with any of these? And I just gesture around to all the bodies. This looks exactly the same as the memories from 1100 years ago that I saw, or was it 11,000?
It was 1100. It was
1100.
Yeah, like the last thing that you remember was about that news thing, that story that you overheard was from like 893 because you rolled a perfect 20 to identify it.
Right.
And the last thing that you remember was seeing that woman with a daughter who was like 8 or 9 or something. So it was around 900. So yeah, a little over 1100 years ago.
Yes, I saw the state of this room from 1100 years ago. I overheard some people talking about a thing that happened in a specific day. That's how I know. Not important. I'm a history nerd. I just wonder if these bodies have been here suspended for 1100 years, and I'll just kind of. I would probably remember exactly where the the thing is where the daughter was, right?
Yeah, you even personally feel sadness when you look at it.
So okay, I can definitely find it and look. And is the daughter still in there?
No. In fact,
yeah.
Now that you're looking, so way back before, they had a variety of different homunculi in them. But all of these ones look like Justice.
Okay. Oh, so they're not like the different kinds anymore. They're all clones of Justice.
Yeah, they're all the same model.
Which also looks like Ilya, Irisveal, and then Echo is like an older version of.
Yeah, like most of these look like if you remember the guards, like Sella or Lisa, right? They look like them because they all pretty much look the same. They're just the same age. The only real exceptions are specifically Ilya and now Echo, as being much younger and much older. Yes, this is pretty much just where new homunculi come from. It's rather fortunate that we had as many on standby as we do, because if we can't get the golem working, this is it. None of us are built with the knowledge to build more homunculi. It's not one of the requirements for our tasks, so we don't know it.
They all look like Justice. That's what the Einzberns have been doing since they made Justice, trying to remake her, right?
Yes, they've been trying to recreate the circumstances that led to a homunculus capable of the third magic.
What do I remember from, like, I remember I rolled the 20 to hatch up the one bat, but I feel like the description you gave was it just kind of happened and I didn't really understand what was going on.
Yeah, so what happened there was you broke it in such a way that it kind of sprayed you with a lot of the liquid in there, and then in your panic to fix it, you did a bunch of like crazy jury rigging. Like you crossed some things over, you closed some stuff off. In one case, you very literally just pinched a pipe closed. And so you weren't doing it with a rhyme or reason so much as just reflexively reacting to the problems as they were coming up, and you couldn't even write it down again if you tried.
And it wasn't even my own body, I was just watching it happen.
Yeah, you were watching it through her. Although one other thing to note is that the pod that you did that to was used for several other homunculi before Justice was created. So it wasn't just that's the good pod that always makes her. It's just other circumstances had to have been at play too.
Gotcha.
But it's possible that that freak accident was the thing that enabled this. Because, like, if you remember, there was also, like, some crazy necromancy ritual at one point. And over the course of months of being distracted and having a daughter and all of that, your own work started to slip a bit too. So it's really hard to capture exactly the circumstances. And it seems like they've spent the last 1,100 years trying every iteration they could to recreate that exact incident.
Well, guess my curiosity has been sated. I wondered if this was any different. Odd though, this is advanced even for nowadays, and they had this room and all of this equipment 1,100 years ago. Strange.
That I don't know enough about, unfortunately. I was literally born here, and she pats one of the tubes.
Right.
So that's a bit before my time, but if we can get the golem working, you might be able to ask it.
Hopefully the golem will feel benevolent enough to impart some... I don't even know why I care about this. Weird.
Well, odds are he'll just be a dick. Yeah, I said it. She stares at the big pillar that can't say anything back.
I wonder if we could connect it to one of these homunculus bodies instead if we can't get the golem working. Well, where would that core have gone? Where would it have been taken to?
That I don't know. I'm not sure what would have been able to grab it. Like, presumably, if anyone ran up to him, they would have also been crushed by it. It would have to be something fast.
We don't know.
Regardless, once we find the core, we'll still need to
rebuild the body.
We'll need to build the body or do something, and that's not my knowledge. We would probably have to get into the library for that.
Right. I guess we should go and try and find those keys then.
That would make the most sense. Shall we head back down then?
Good to me. Nothing of interest in this room.
I'd rather not spend any more time in this room full of floating bodies.
Penelope, you roll me an Arcana check. Because this is the first time you've seen any of these things.
That's true. I feel like Annis would have forgotten that.
Oh!
What the fuck?
Okay. All right, well, here's... Cool. All right, so yeah, you as an arcane mage have a little bit more insight into what's going on here. Wow, all right. So actually, I am going to dig out those pictures again because they're relevant for this part.
Oh, jeez.
So 1 second.
I'll be right back. Take your time.
Yeah, if you need a second to go get a drink or something, by all means, this is as good a pausing point as any.
Cool. We need the intermission music from Monty Python.
I think it's probably somewhere on that PC. That's the one I wrote Otaku off of.
I feel like I should grab the Carnival Phantasm music in the background. Like, just like an elevator rendition of the Carnival Phantasm music. That'd be cute.
God. That would be super cute. So
I appreciate that after like 8 years, we finally get more.
I know, right?
And because it's Grand Order, I actually get the references this time, because I still don't know all of the Melty Blood stuff.
Yeah. So Rumi got up, right? Shelly has immediately sat down in her spot.
That seems to be the way it works.
So, I guess for the rest of the game, Ennis will be played by Shelly. So if she starts meowing, that's why.
That's fair. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and share this for when she gets back. Boop.
Ugh.
Now without all that fog.
Yay! It's green.
Also, just pretend that all of the people in these tanks are justies.
Yeah, it seems.
Also, you can tell this came from a TV show and not a movie because they're wearing clothes.
Yep. Oh, yep.
If you're from Fate Apocrypha, you wear clothes when you're naked. Unless you're John, in which case They're playing up
You
the
do.
blonde, big boob French girl thing. Because she's naked
just
for like half of the credits music for no reason.
I mean, I have a sneaky suspicion I know what that reason might be.
There's
but...
definitely that. You got to sell those figures.
Yep. We've decided that Shelly is now going to play Annis for the rest of the game.
Oh, good.
She's your beast shape.
Yep. Clearly, I reshape it into a cat. Meow.
Meow. Meow.
Meow.
Well, we've already established that she's a pyromancer, and you do use fire magic, so I think it all checks out.
It's fine.
But alrighty, so can you see the picture and everything?
Yeah. Then...
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is something that'll matter more for you.
Okay.
So you're pretty well traveled, and you've interacted with a lot of different mages in your time as a bard. So, one thing that you know, just especially as an arcane mage, is that there are kind of 3 major directions for European magic. There's the clock tower direction. The clock tower direction is the one that we most commonly see in different Fate media. It's everything from your Harry Potter stuff and castles to like fancy summoning spells to using, skies, all of the Magic of Solomon stuff. The stuff that has the circles and the big, 6-pointed stars or 7-pointed stars or what have you, depending on who's doing it. So there's that. There's another group that is known as the Wandering Sea, and you don't know much of anything about them. They're more just a thing that you know about because you know stuff. They're like the one that no one really interacts with because they're purist and they only believe in trying to recreate magic from the Age of Gods, which is hard, so no one really sees them very often. But the third one, and the one that's relevant here, is the Atlas Institute, which is actually based out of Egypt. And they took a different branch of the Mages Association from the Clock Tower a long time ago. And their stuff is a different kind of alchemy. So, like, the alchemy that you have right here with the Einzberns is the kind of stuff that you think of, mixing different chemicals to make things, or building golems and homunculi and stuff like that out of, literal parts and putting them back together and, making them work through Mon infusion and all that. But the Atlas Institute uses like a weird magical technology blend where when you look at their stuff, it's more metallic. It's got more like, bright lights and lines on it from, your level just as someone who sees it. It feels more like superhero technology to you. So like if you were to compare them, like the stuff that you would get out of Clock Tower would be more Doctor Strange, whereas Atlas Institute would be more Iron Man or Ant-Man kind of stuff. Like they're both still ridiculously impossible, but there's a bit more of a technology bend to it if it's from Atlas. They're not afraid of the modern world. They're the ones who actually do modern magic stuff that's probably more in line with what you kind of think is cool anyway. And they're the only ones you can think of who would be able to do something this sophisticated 1,100 years ago. And likewise, they're the ones who, given their own known interest in alchemy, would have likely interacted with the early Einzberns if the early Einzberns were looking for every possible way to reconnect. And they would definitely be interested in people trying to do the third magic. So you've got a pretty solid assumption here that if you want to know what's going on with this castle, you're going to have to go to Egypt. And you're going to have to get in touch or find someone else from Atlas and talk to them, which could be a journey all in and of itself. It's something that you kind of wanted to do at one point anyway, just because, quite frankly, as someone who carries a BlackBerry, you like modern technology. And their form of magecraft is a lot more compatible with that than, say, Annis's form of magecraft, which does not care for that at all. But it's definitely something that Annis would never have encountered as someone who spent all of her time learning magecraft in the woods and then went directly to London. So you, as someone who's traveled, have had way more opportunities to see this. In fact, you once met a traveling mage on your journeys who, for lack of a better way of saying it, created a flying device that was more of a vacuum than a broom.
Oh no, it's the one witch from Hocus Pocus.
Oh, that wasn't where I was going, but sure, yeah. Like, a much more modern take on very traditional concepts is what you usually think of when you think of this group.
Gotcha.
Like, in the case of this one, it's actually something that's very new for this period of time. The witch that you saw was flying around on what kind of looked like a Roomba. It was a disc that she was riding on.
Oh my god.
Which, for you at the time, was the coolest thing ever because it was a way to fly.
Yeah.
So do you share any of that?
Yes,
with the class?
I'm just gonna share class.
That's fair.
Never been to Africa. Be fun, I guess. Be something.
That's certainly news to me.
Yeah. I think it'd be worth something worth checking out, possibly.
Yes.
Or at least they might know something that might help.
It's a bit odd if Atlas was involved, however, since presumably this would have been an investment for them that they just ignored for over 1,000 years. Another good question for the golem if we get him back online, I suppose.
So, get looking for keys in that core.
Yeah.
When I said core like that, core.
Are you suddenly Scottish?
The core!
The old accent, am I?
Back into your old accent.
Right then, there we go. Get that core up in that golem.
Good.
Bob's your uncle. It's important that we offend all people.
Yep, totally.
Oh god, now I'm trying to remember what. Oh god, there's a specific accent that's like popping into my head right now, and I can't think of what it's called. Oh no. Ah.
Swedish chef.
No.
Work.
Eat a bork, eat a bork, eat a bork, bork, bork. Oh, actually, all right, so I'm going to close off that thing now. I'm going to show you, since you can see enough of it from up here, I'm just going to reveal more of the map, since there's no reason to keep it hidden. And it might be helpful just for spatial context. So from up here, if you look out to the south, you're now looking down a bit over the courtyard from before. You can see the tree out there. You're actually up a little bit above the height of the tree now, finally. Now that it's drooping. It would have probably been up at eye line with the windows before, but now you're over it. And as you're looking down there, you can see Kwaku still sort of punching away at the tree via wraps and harvesting wood as he goes. You can also see the bird, which had stayed down there with him before. It's hopping around a little bit. In fact, both of you make a perception check.
What?
Aww.
Those die rolls are weird. It looked like someone bumped into the table on you there.
Right?
Okay, so Penelope can see the bird is hopping around and picking away at the little bits of tree that Kwaku sort of looks at and chucks to the ground and he doesn't care about. The bird is sort of picking up pieces of it like it's going to make a nest or something. Annis actually sees it sort of placing some of the more choice pieces kind of on its back and in its feathers. Like they're just sort of sticking to it through the little splinters on it. And then it flies up and goes to one of the nearby towers.
Huh. I think our friend is making a nest. I don't know how I don't know about letting it make a nest out of vampire tree wood.
I mean, it'd be a sick ass nest.
Sick being the key word there.
I mean, like, really cool. Like,
Eggs laid in it might turn into vampires.
I don't know how that works, but let's just go take a look over here. And she's gonna walk over to this one and pop open the door, and there's a tiny little balcony.
Oh.
Um, and
Well,
run past all the homunculus tanks and not looking at them.
that's fair.
No, I don't jump.
I don't recommend it, but so I'm gonna
My fall. It's okay.
trust fall. All right, I'm gonna share the 3D picture again to give you context. So right now, you are make the shape. Do it.
Like, no!
Doesn't want to make a shape. Oh, it's because I locked the layer because I'm dumb.
Womp womp.
And it won't let me unlock it for some reason. The game is angered.
Bruh.
I don't actually know how to make it do that.
Insert raps noises here.
Yeah.
That's Skeletor. Okay, well, it's not letting me draw arrows. Suffice it to say, when you're looking at this one, and the top left area is the much higher part of the castle, you're on the top floor. You're looking out of those. You can kind of see the wide part. Like, if you look at at it like it's a face looking outward, with the two windows at the top, and then a little balcony thing. A little balcony thing is where you're at right now, and it's kind of like a mouth. So that's where you're looking out.
Okay.
And the bird is flying over to the very top of that really tall tower near the front. It's kind of square shaped, and it sort of keeps flying back up there and then back down and grabbing more pieces of the tree and then taking them back up there.
Look at him go.
Am I close enough that he'll hear me if I call out to him or her?
You could try. Like, you're pretty far away, but I believe in your ability to be loud too. It's not like there's any other noise out here.
I did bring Speak with Animals. Cool. I will cast that.
Sure.
I think I did it.
Yeah, you did it.
Okay. And I'll just call out, Bud friend, what are you doing? Are you building a nest?
It takes it a second, and then it turns, and it looks, and it flies over here. Let's just add it to the map with you because we have the technology. Build a nest.
Are you sure you should be using wood from that tree to build your nest?
Pretty wood. Worm.
Evil wood.
What is evil?
Bad. It might poison. If you lay eggs, it might poison them.
Sick wood.
Yes.
No good. No good. And then it'll fly off, and you can see little bits of wood get chucked off from the top. It's apparently abandoning that plan now. It's flown back over.
I wanted to ask him about the bear, too.
You could yell at it if you want. Like, the spell lasts.
Right. Oh, bird friend, come back. I have more questions. I have some fruit. I'll just pull out, like, some of the fresh fruit I got from the grotto garden area.
It is all about that life.
Handful of, like, blueberries or something.
Sure. Yeah, it's picking away at them.
That bear that you got from the rock last night, why did you do that?
It asked me to.
The bear?
The voice.
How did the voice sound? What kind of voice was it?
Person voice.
More like, is it know what? More like a voice like this or a voice like this?
Same voice.
Did it sound angry?
Sad.
Sad. So a voice asked you to get that bear out of rock and fly it over to the tree?
Didn't like tree.
The voice didn't like the tree. Sense. Were you
Wanted big thing to hurt tree.
Wanted big thing to hurt tree. Did the big thing ask you to take the bear?
No, it wanted the bear back.
That's all the questions I have for now, but I will give you more berries if I can think of more questions.
Okay, back to nest. And it's looking around here for stuff to grab.
Yes, definitely don't use things from the big tree. It will make you sick.
Tree bad. Shiny good.
Tree bad. Tree bad.
Have shiny?
Have shiny? Are you asking if I have a shiny? Or...
Yes, shiny for nest.
Don't really think I have anything other than gold pieces. And keep in mind that you're only hearing my end of the conversation.
I'm just hearing you like.
Yeah.
No, you're hearing me talk to it in English, but.
Oh. What does it need? What? What shiny? What?
It wants to build a nest. I told it not to use the tree, so it wants a shiny. I'm not sure a shiny what. And it said a voice asked it to get the bear.
Ooh.
Tried to determine whether that it was a male voice or a female voice, but I don't think it understood.
Oh. I mean, based on what I saw, it could have been like a little girl, maybe.
Don't know that it understands the concept of age in humanoids. It didn't understand gender.
Yeah, time is a bit of an odd concept for that bird. That bird is very old, but it doesn't know it.
Oh. Oh no. But yeah, I don't have anything shiny I don't think I have anything shiny. She starts digging through her bag. I'm like racking my brain trying to think if she actually has anything to work.
It's fine. I think the bird isn't still there, right? It's flown off to look for more stuff.
It's sort of walking around in the balcony right now. In fact, since the door is open, it's gonna fly into this room.
Oh no.
Well,
now it's swooping around. It bumps into the monolith at the end, goes and then backs up again.
You all right there, bird friend?
Oh no.
Bad rock, bad rock.
Yes, stay away from that rock. It is indeed bad.
And it swoops around for a little bit until it finally finds a bit of wire that's just sort of sitting on the ground next to one of the tanks. It looks like, from working on these things before, that they go through maintenance. And it just sort of grabs the shiny metal wire, and then it swoops out and flies away.
Good luck, bird friend. Okay, so shall we head to the 4th floor then?
Sure, let's go.
Where did Echo go?
Oh no.
Oh, you were moving. I think.
Oh, she was under you. Okay.
Just me moving. Good job phasing through the wall, Penelope.
I'm really good at that.
It's a skill.
It's one of my many skills and talents.
It might be easier to go down through the main stairs.
Oh, I suppose.
Whee!
Just to save another walk through the grotto.
Lock myself into the wall.
Down.
Aha!
Okay, so now that you're up here, this is definitely an area that you remember. In fact, down at the south is that window that you remember specifically.
All right, well, shall we?
Oh, look, it's a
I just-
knee-sized staircase.
I just yeet myself down. I don't even like walk down them. I just accidentally yeet myself down them. No, I don't do that.
Wait, is that another door?
Over
Right
there?
there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and open it.
Okay.
Paused in the stairwell.
What's in here?
It is a tiny storage room with a tiny little door next to it. And a window.
Is there anything in the room?
No, it's actually empty.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And just because I imagine you're going to ask, if you open that one, it is an actual normal-sized closet.
Ah, okay.
You have found a storage room on the top floor.
Hooray!
I'm going to tell you in the meta, if you'd been here while the factory was still on and doing stuff, this would be the room where you find a whole bunch of homunculi bodies.
Oh, good!
But you happen to show up on a clean day.
Oh, good. That's probably for the best.
Yeah, that would have been way more traumatic if you'd wandered in normally. The better question is, why is there a coat closet in the room where you dump the bodies?
You know?
That you don't have an answer for.
Sometimes you just don't want to know these things.
Yep. Okay,
You gotta-
so as a reference, the stairs do go up as well as down.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the last floor, but there is a little tower over here. You can see that from outside. So,
Yeah.
just telling you that so that you're aware.
Should we try and go up then?
I'm just already going down the stairs.
Okay.
That's fair.
Whee!
All right. You said you were just going to go down to the 3rd floor, just so I can spare you looking at all the maps again?
I think it was the 4th floor. You said it was above the area where Kiritsu
Right.
his dirty deeds, whatever they were.
Done dirt cheap.
Right. So, Okay, so as you're going down, Echo's actually going to mention that, so it's technically on the 4th floor, but due to the structure of the side, you still have to go to the 3rd one to get there.
Oh.
It's a
Well,
strange
lead the way.
design.
Shall we?
So you go down a few floors. I will add you to the 3rd floor. It'll make more sense when you actually see it on the map. Yet another fun side effect of using a real castle as a model. Also, if anyone wants to go to Germany, you too can visit the Einzbern Castle.
Hey.
Shelly boy.
Maybe not right now, though. Travel
Yeah,
hard.
a little bit. Don't have a passport. A little thing called COVID.
You know, just a wee snitch of COVID.
It's a thing.
A little bit of a pandemic.
Yup. There we go.
Oh, 3rd floor.
Back to the 3rd floor.
Who's that?
Right, and Echo, I'm just going to zip you guys over. Whoosh. Spare you some of that scrolling. And we're back to that part that had a tree in the way.
Darn tree.
So the tree is blocking the way to get there?
It would have been if the tree was still alive, but since it's
Gotcha.
all droopy and recessed now, this is more just showing you where the damage is from where the tree poked through the walls.
Ah.
Like, if you actually fix the castle, I'll remove the tree, and you'll assume these walls are there again. But for now, anywhere where you see the plants touching a wall, you can assume that they've bashed into it and made it a mess. All right, then. Guess I'll open the door. Do-do-do-do. All right, so from the hallway looking in, you can see that this room it's about 10 feet wide and about 30 or 40 feet long. It looks like it was originally pretty open and used as like a foyer. But looking at it now, it's suspiciously empty, but you can't quite wrap your head around why it looks off. Like, something is weird, but you can't quite see what it is.
Oh.
I guess
no.
cautiously enter.
Apparently I can't.
Oh, were we on half squares or something?
Trying to
I think I'm
determine.
stuck.
I think I might have aligned the map wrong
Oh, no.
for this floor.
If from the very small amount of things that Annis knows about Kiritsugu, she would suspect he might lay traps.
I mean, that would check out. No, the
guess
grids are right. You're just on half grids for some reason.
I can roll investigation. I know how to check for traps as a thief, but
yeah, you can roll investigation. Just tell me how you're investigating.
I'm checking the doorway and like the area right by it for anything that looks weird or like discolored or out of place.
Okay.
Anything like that. The floor too. Holy shit.
Okay. Acceptable. All right. So yeah, you looking into the room from the doorway. Like, the door itself seems pretty normal. When you look in the room, you notice that on the floor in like two places, there are actually quarterstaffs, like long sticks similar to the one that you carry around. The kind that you remember using for training when you were learning how to use your stick. One thing that you notice with them lying down there, though, is that if the quarterstaffs are straight, like properly straight, then the room itself isn't. Like, something about the room is slightly twisted a little bit. And looking at it more carefully now, you can see that it's actually been... It looks like a normal room like all the rest of them, but it's been painted slightly at an angle. Like, it's an optical illusion. This room is slightly tilted. And as a result, if you're not paying attention, you won't be able to see it. But the room is on an incline. It's disorienting, but you can see through it because you checked it just right.
So the room is at an incline, but painted so that it doesn't look like it is?
Right.
I guess it's not trapped, but watch your step. It doesn't look it, but it's actually kind of on an incline.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, so you're cautiously stepping in?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so when you do, yeah, you can feel it because you know what to look for now. As you look at it, it looks like you're leaning when you're not. Your brain is telling you that you need to adjust your balance, but you know better, so you don't. And therefore, you don't slip up. Because you're both aware of it, you can sort of compensate for it, but you imagine if you just come walking in the room like normal, you would have fallen down. Your body would not know how to process this room.
What an interesting room. I wonder why it's like
This is weird.
Right, so
Weird.
Echo's gonna walk in, and when she walks in, she sort of wavers a little bit and then balances out again. It's like, oh, I don't like this. I suppose if he was teaching someone how to ignore what they can see, this is a way to do it. Like, I feel like it would be easier just to fight in the dark, but I don't know. Perhaps he was teaching her to avoid the pitfalls of fighting illusions. I don't know. This is weird. If anything, I'm kind of pissed off that he messed with the floor. But no matter, at least nothing seems to be hurting us. Just try not to focus too much. I feel like I'll get a headache if I stay here for too long.
Right. Do I need to roll a new investigation or check or of some kind to search the room for interesting things, I guess?
Your previous one is definitely gonna cover
Okay.
what's needed for this. I'm not gonna make you roll like 3 or 4 times a room, or we'll just be here forever. But yeah, so like you can tell that that's sort of what was going on there. Like one thing that's really noteworthy to you is that because this is an actual optical illusion and not a magical illusion, any mage that would wander in here with supernatural like ability to like detect illusions, like maybe magic eyes or something, would be completely taken off guard. Like this would 100% play into their overconfidence in their vision. And based on what little you know of the reputation of the mage killer, this is probably a way that he's actually killed someone before.
Ooh.
Like, it's always using mundane things to play up the arrogance of mages and then ambushing them. And it's very believable that basic optical illusions are more effective than actual illusion magic when you're going up against mages who know about illusion magic. But in terms of the actual stuff in the room, you just find those sticks. Like, they're nice sticks. There's a training dummy over in the corner, but it doesn't have anything special about it. You don't notice anything unusual. But as you walk around the room, you notice that it's not a consistent ramp. It actually goes up and down in places in ways that you cannot see. But because you're being cautious, you're not slipping up and falling.
Yes, I hate this. This is... Wow. And you mentioned that there's in here somewhere?
Yes, there are stairs up over at the far end of the room. Let me go ahead and reveal those. As I said before, all of these were used as the quarters originally for the original alchemists. So there's a bunch of bedrooms, but we don't use this space anymore.
Guess I'll head up the stairs.
Whee!
Anything to get out of that weird room.
That's fair. So, in the interest of saving time, I actually moved the 4th floor to this map.
Huh.
It seemed better than jumping back and forth between these maps over that. So, behold. If you scroll up slightly, you can see a copy of this floor above.
Whee!
I can't seem to move over there, though.
Yeah, I have to drag you due to the line of sight thing. Boop. Boop. There you go.
Is the floor weird here, too?
No, thankfully. This is a normal floor. Oddly enough, this floor is completely normal. You don't get any sense that there's weird stuff going on here, even with your perception from before. One thing that you do notice about it, though, is that it's pretty dusty. Like, homunculi don't come up here anymore and clean or anything. Like, this whole area just seems to be unused. But there are 3 doors along the top, then 1 on each of the other walls.
Well, let's
Open this one.
I'll go to this.
The far left one?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, is it the one or in the far right? Up top.
All right, I just wanted to make sure because you're near 2 of them, but this is the one that you're touching, so I'm going to take it. You mean that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeehaw.
All right, so the door that you opened up here, Um, contrary to the hall that you were just in, this one is spotless. It is super clean. Which is pretty neat because there's a bunch of stuff in it. So, as mentioned before, it seemed like you were looking for like the archivist to maintain the library. And this has a pretty good chance of being it. In the room, you can see, there's a bed. Obviously, there's shelves. There's a lot of parchment sitting around on a desk, and this stuff looks real old. But the room itself, as I said, is completely clean. Also, in the corner, like the back left corner, there's something that it looks kind of like a globe, but not of Earth. It's more just like a big, pretty sphere that has a bunch of blues and greens in it. It's just sitting there. And there's some drawers and dressers.
Alright, I'm gonna roll an investigation check and start digging through the drawers and stuff.
Go for it.
Heck yeah.
Nice one. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, doing that, you're gonna find a few things. So first of all, you notice that the paper that's sitting out on the desk is made of the same kind of parchment, like really, really old parchment that you've seen magic scrolls written on, which is pretty impressive because it means it's a piece of paper that isn't just going to fall apart with time. So that's neat. You find under that piece of paper an actual magic scroll. And it's actually got a thing on it that you can read because it's an arcane spell. So I'm going to share that with you so that you can see what it is.
Okay.
All right, let's pull up the party sheet. Drop an item in it. Boop.
Fine scroll.
Did it show up on the list for you? It's the only scroll.
It says fine scroll. The parchment of this scroll is of the finest quality, and the writing is careful and delicate.
Oh, it's not identified? I thought I identified this for you. Weird.
No.
All right. Let's just do that then. Bonk. How's that?
Oh, snap.
There you go.
Ooh.
I guess it doesn't automatically identify it. So now it is. Yeah, it is a scroll of comprehend languages.
Finally.
So, yeah, the thing to know about comprehend languages is one, like it's something that you can just cast from the scroll because it's on your spell list. So that's cool. When you cast the spell, the scroll's gonna go away.
Ooh.
So like
Oh no.
you only get to use it once. And an important thing that you need to understand as someone who might be the one most likely to use it in the party. Comprehend language is not the same as speak or write language.
Oh, good.
So you'll understand what people are telling you or what you're reading. You won't be able to reply.
You have to be touching the thing to read it, too. I found that out.
Ooh.
That's an important note, yeah.
Yep, you can understand, but you may or may not be able to speak back.
Oh, cool. Cool. Progress!
It's true.
Hooray.
It does make sense for the librarian to have one of these lying around, though. You kind of get the impression from the parchment next to it that the archivist probably created this for someone else. But now you have it.
Hooray.
Cool. And not only that, because you rolled a 20, you find another thing. So while you're inspecting the room, you're looking around, you're going through the drawers and whatnot. You get pretty close to that sphere in the corner.
Uh-huh.
And once you're close enough to it, you bump into it. Like just with your elbow by accident. And the second your elbow touches it, all of your clothes are clean. All the plant stuff, all of the blood from healing Annis, all of it is cleaned off. You are perfectly clean now. You feel refreshed.
Cool. Kind of put my head out the door. Oh, nope. Apparently. Hold on. So, I guess we don't need a shower.
What?
Look at me, I'm clean!
Oh, how did that happen?
There's a weird ball thing in here? And I hit it with my elbow.
Oh, this is an audio medium. Annis is giving her a very strange...
I hit it with my elbow.
Ah.
And suddenly I'm clean.
Suppose I'll come
But
in
this room is also super clean compared to the rest of this hallway.
Suppose I'll come in and inspect it.
Also, I found a scroll.
Cool.
And when you pick up... Are you like holding up the scroll to show it to her?
Yeah.
Okay, when you do that, something falls out of the scroll.
Oh god.
Which I will also add to your inventory. Or I guess the party inventory.
Thank you. That. Oh, hey, look, a key.
Oh.
A small iron key fell out of that. It was wrapped up in it before.
Suppose that could be for the library.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, show me this ball.
Yeah. It's this thing. I'm not actually running around like crazy.
Would that be Arcana to try and...
Yeah, you can try to identify it with an Arcana check. It's a common enough thing that you can actually identify it off of that, yeah. So this thing in front of you is called a cleansing stone. It's relatively common in the world of mages because it was more prominent prior to the invention of soap. Like, soap has been around, obviously, but it wasn't convenient to just, use all the time. And mages were not typically the ones who would want to deal with that process anyway. So yeah, essentially it's a stone. It's about a foot in diameter, so it's kind of big. But whenever you touch it, it will remove all the dirt and grime from you. It cleans you up. It cleans you and your clothes and anything you're carrying. It just cleans it right off. Like, it's set up here in this thing kind of like a globe, but you could just pull it out and walk away with it if you felt like it. It would make sense for an archivist to have that since they don't want to get smudges on stuff.
Well, I'll reach out and touch it at least.
It immediately cleans you off. All of the blood from your own wound disappears. All of the dirt and grime, the little bits of soil that stuck to you from when you were harvesting in the garden, all that's gone. Just disappears.
Handy. Suppose this archivist isn't around to use it. Do I feel like the globe is maybe making it so that it affects the whole room?
You sort of get the impression that you have to touch the globe, but by extension, what you would assume, like someone who would have this in their room was probably just a neat freak, and no one has been in this room for a very long time.
I was thinking the globe is the reason why the room was spotless as opposed to the rest of the cast.
Well, technically, like, you would know that it probably helps, similar to, like, having a filter. Because any breeze in here that makes the dust float into it, the dust will immediately disappear. So it just can't really accumulate the way that it will out in the hallway where, like, the breezes of the castle will blow it around.
Well, this archivist won't be needing this stone, so if, unless you want it, Penelope, I'll just be very convenient.
I mean, go for it.
It's in my bag.
There you go. I'm just going to make a habit of adding these things to the party sheet, and then you can drag them off of there to your list.
Just let me borrow it every now and then, okay?
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, is it identified in there, or do I need to do that?
Just this stone.
Oh, that's dumb. There you go. I mean, it makes sense to not identify magical things when you first find them. It's just something that I need to remember to do before I drop them in. But cool, you got that.
You need to claim the scroll of comprehend languages and the key. The stone is... Oh, there it is. Drag. Yeah. Should be. I do. Good. Yeah.
Is it not adding to your inventory?
No.
Let me see if it's something...
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
there
was
it is.
dragging the number for some reason, but
Oh, that's weird, yeah.
Or
I think I want you to grab the box.
cleansing stone. There we go. Cool.
All right, then.
I mean, I'll look around the room, but I imagine I won't find anything because anything worth finding would have already been found.
Pretty much. You can find some more parchment. Maybe you want some parchment for future scroll use, or just in general paper that you don't have to worry about getting destroyed.
Couldn't hurt.
Sure. I will add 10 sheets of that to the party sheet. Have fun. Like, it's not hard to find this stuff normally, but now you'll have some.
Cool. Found what's probably the key. You found a tiny shower.
Yes.
Basically. I'm gonna poke my head in here.
The top left one?
I will go back to the room that I was previously trying to investigate.
All right, well, we'll do Penelope's first since you were just checking the other room. Boop. All right. You have found a tiny study room. There's just a desk and a chair and a window and a shelf that when you look at it, it looks like it's got a few like glass vials and things on it that you imagine once upon a time were used in alchemy, but it seems to be long abandoned now. Super dusty in here.
Cool. Bye.
All right, and then over in the other one. It's a room. All right, this is the one that Annis is looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, so Anna steps in, and you've been in this room before.
Oh.
You've got many memories of actually living in this room. This was your room for the longest time. Looking around, you can see on the wooden dresser that there are tiny little notches that... They're little horizontal notches. They go up to about 4 feet at intervals. Being in the room actually makes it a little bit easier for you to remember the details of those flashbacks. They come a little more easily in here. But you don't find any stuff just looking around. It's more a sense of familiarity than anything else.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's any name written anywhere, because I still don't know the name of the lady whose body I was borrowing.
Right.
And I still don't.
No, you don't really find anything that identifies her. Although one thing to note is that you haven't really found much in terms of personal identification on anything.
Yeah.
Here, so like if you recall, the homunculi tubes were numbers. They were just subject numbers. Like they gave Justice a name when she was important. Presumably the people that lived here before had names, but you don't remember them ever using them in any of the stories. Not for the one that you were, not for the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
None of them seem to actually go by their names much. So, you don't even remember the name of the daughter.
Yeah. Right. Well,
Find anything?
no,
Ooh.
nothing.
Okay.
So I'll check this room.
The bottom one?
Mm-hmm.
Beds for days!
Hey! A lot of beds.
Yep. Looking around in here, you get the immediate impression that this is where people who weren't as celebrated as your, I guess your co-pilot, had to share rooms, whereas the woman that you sort of jumped into had her own. Could have also just been a side effect of her having a child, but yeah, this is big. Like, these beds are old. This place has really not been touched in forever. You have a feeling that if you were to hop on one of these beds, it would collapse just from being so old.
Yep.
It's kind of like looking into a time capsule more than anything.
I'll look in this room.
Okay. Yet
More
more
beds!
beds. It's like people used to live here.
What?
You rummaging around?
Yeah. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Not very well, though.
You mostly find that wherever you step, you leave a footprint due to the dust.
Gross.
Yeah.
Out. Goodbye. Farewell.
Believe we found all that we're going to find here.
Yeah, let's get out of here. It's kind of dusty. Kind of gross.
Did you find the key?
Found a key. Or we found a key.
That's probably it then. We don't have too many keys here.
Cool. Let's go.
All right.
Whee! Apparently jumped on the wheel.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm in the wall again. Oh. Ah!
Now you're in that wall.
Ah!
Welcome back to the Freaky Hall.
Woohoo!
All right, are you guys just heading up to the floor of the library?
Yep.
Yeah.
If so, then I will drag you there and save you the trip.
Woohoo!
So many maps. It's a big castle. And when I drag you onto maps, it doesn't actually change your view at all, does it?
Nope.
Okay. Well, here you go. You're now back up on the 5th floor.
Woohoo!
To the library.
To the library.
All right. In that case, Echo's gonna open the door right in front of you.
I like how we both started heading.
Like, yeah, let's go. And then,
Right. Here we go. Welcome to another coat room.
Guys must have worn a lot of coats.
I think they really wanted to keep the food and drinks out of the library.
I mean, valid.
So up over here is the archivist office, and then the big room is the actual library.
Oh no. What? Apparently, bomb all over the place.
You are free to use the key on the door, or you can go in the archivist office, or we can go explore. What would you like to do?
I'll use the key on the door.
It fits.
Hooray!
Yeah. All right, so you open the door. The key passes through whatever that field was that was making it hard to knock before just fine. And by extension, this whole area opens up to you. And I'm just going to reveal all of it because the little side doors are open anyway. Makes it easier for you to walk around. There you go. All right, so here is the deal with the library. So, as was mentioned before, you can tell from looking around here that this is very much an old library. Like you were walking in maybe expecting like shelves full of books standing upright and all that kind of stuff from a modern library, but this library is over 1,000 years old. And as such, it is more in line with the technology of libraries at the time. Apparently, they did not go to the Atlas Institute for the Dewey Decimal System. They are very much what libraries were like in the 900s, which is to say that there are shelves, but the shelves have books sitting flat on them, not up on the sides. And they're not really books in the normal sense so much as blocks of wood with parchment sandwiched between them sitting flat. Also, the second you stepped through that sort of purple line, you felt the small amounts of dust that you got on you from looking in those other rooms immediately disappear. Feels exactly like when you touched that stone upstairs, but it seems to be affecting the entire area.
Neat.
So other than that, in the room itself, you can see curtains to the like big black curtains at the top part covering the windows so that no light's getting in. It's actually pretty dark in here. Annis can see okay. Penelope is pretty blind, barring a light source.
Okay, I can't see.
Well, I guess so. We can either use your phone. We can use those lanterns, or we can move the curtains and see what happens.
What?
Admittedly, Penelope wasn't even aware there were curtains.
Yeah, like I didn't even know there were curtains. Where do you see curtains?
That here.
Pulls out her phone and starts trying to use it as a flashlight.
Okay. So yeah, when you pull your phone out, you can see a little bit of the room, and like I said, it's pretty dark and old looking. One thing that you can see, just waving your phone over it, and something that Annis could see anyway, is that those like big block books are actually they're on the shelf, but they're kind of sealed behind glass. Like a small amount of the side of each book is sticking out under the glass, but you don't actually see a way to remove the books.
I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to come into the library.
I was just curious. I will move the curtains, like pull them over to the side to let some light in, I guess.
Okay. You do so. When the light comes in, you notice that as it hits the glass, the light seems to stop because the glass stays exactly as dim as it was before. Like, the glass is preventing light from getting in and touching the books.
Smart.
Are you having fun in the library?
It's dark.
It's not dark. It shouldn't be dark now.
There are books, I guess. I'm gonna look at some of the titles of the.
Do you see any books that are about making golems?
I guess I'll start. Can I like? I can see the books to read them because of my dark vision, right?
So what you can see are there are labels on the glass. It's like etched into the glass, telling you what each book is. And as such, you can't actually get to the books and thumb through them, but as you look over them, the collection of books here is pretty fascinating for you. It's a lot of books that are really, really old on a variety of different kinds of magecraft. Like most of them you can tell are related to alchemy, as you would expect. Here, there's a lot of books that are... You kind of recognize the names of the people that wrote them, largely on, like, mage world. These are not, like, public domain books or books that most people could find. These are things that you can tell were, like, tomes gathered, presumably directly from the sources a long time ago. You don't see anything here that's newer than, like, 1,000 years ago. Like, there's no modern printings of anything. This, similar to the other rooms, this is kind of like a time capsule of 1,000 years ago. But looking over them, like, you do eventually find one that has, you can find the translation for the German, like, you know, like, stone man, and you can extrapolate that they're talking about a golem from that. But you can't physically get to it because of the glass.
I can't read it?
Not as it is right now.
Well, I found one about golems, but I can't get to it to read it.
Does the case open?
That's a good question.
It does not. That's just what she's asking for. Like, you don't see any way to actually physically get to the books. It's almost like they've been sealed in for presumably near airtight perfection.
No, it doesn't appear to open. At least I can't find a way to open it.
Gonna investigate.
Go for it.
And see if I can find some sort of something to help. Oh no!
Not especially. Mostly what you can find walking around in here is that the air is dry, and it actually feels it's sterile. The whole thing just feels very sterile. It doesn't feel very natural to you. It's almost like ozone after a lightning storm.
Okay, so what if? Please tell me if this is a dumb idea. What if we break the glass? What if it's like one of those like break glass in case of emergency kind of situation?
Well, the book is over 1,000 years old, so possible it would crumble to dust when the instant we touch it. Or it's possible that because it's sealed here and preserved this way, that we would be able to read it, but breaking the glass, I assume, would... Not sure.
I wonder if there's anything in that office that could help us. Like maybe not one of these keys, but like a key to get in the case, maybe?
Does it even look like there is any mechanism to open the case?
You don't see a mechanism to do it, but you do know just from interacting with other mages that if there is one, it might not be a physical, visible one.
Well, unless they intentionally sealed this in here without any way of getting in to read it, seems odd.
Yeah.
There might be some way of getting it that's not that's not breaking the glass.
Penelope's just like making a punching motion. Are you sure? Punch some glass.
We can have that as our plan B.
Okay.
Wonder if we should get Kwaku. He seems like he would rather enjoy this library.
Yeah, he is a big old nerd.
Maybe he can send his spider into one of the cases and have it flip the pages for us. Does it look like the books are closed flat? Does it look like they can be opened and read from outside the glass, basically?
It would be kind of tight. Like, you don't think there's enough room to actually flip it open. They're pretty narrow.
So that was my thought, was maybe there's a magical means to open and read it without needing to remove it. Nope. Okay.
Well, there might be. As noted again, these are mages. It might just not be obvious.
Can I do an Arcana check
Sure.
on the glass?
On the glass itself, okay.
Then the glass is tinted so that it basically doesn't let light in.
Yeah, the glass has a darkness spell on it. It prevents light from passing through it beyond the absolute minimum, presumably for the protection of the books.
It had to survive somehow for 1,000 years.
It kind of makes the curtains feel unnecessary, honestly.
Maybe they wanted to preserve all the furniture.
Could be. But yeah, you notice in your Arcana inspection that the glass itself seems to be hit with a darkness spell, but also, like, since you have to check it really close to it, you notice that in the smallest possible sense, there's a slight scratch on one of them right next to where the book is on the glass. Like, something had been pressed against it several times in exactly the same spot. And then when you look at a few other ones, you see the same thing. Like, something has been pushed up against this glass. And since the room doesn't have any dust whatsoever, it would actually be a scratch.
Okay, I'm gonna mention this to Annis.
Seems like maybe not a key necessarily, but seems like there's something that lets people get into these. Like a key or a pass. Yeah, we should probably check that archivist's office. It seems likely the best place for that sort of thing to be.
Yeah. No, we're gonna go into that. Step on a covial, apparently.
Oh, fine. Don't mind me.
Sorry. I don't even know how I tripped over you. Like, you're taller than me.
But you can get in the office using the same key.
Woohoo!
Hooray. So even though you don't see a picture of it here, the office actually has a desk in it. It's something that I should have spent time photoshopping, but I didn't. But yeah, it's got a chair and a desk. And it, like, as noted, like, this is the archivist office. It's got some more of that paper. The desk has a lock in it. It's a tiny lock. It's the same size as the one that you used to get in the room.
Gonna try the lock.
You did it. You've unlocked it.
All right.
Yeah, there's a few things in it. So first up, there's a stick, and next to the stick is another one of those books similar to the ones you see in the room. It's got like sort of wood bindings on the side of it. And I'm gonna show you a picture of what that looks like. Boop. Real old.
Gertie.
So that and a stick are sitting in the desk.
Gonna, like, very carefully, like, open the book.
Annis is basically right behind her.
Okay, so both of you are there and you're opening the book?
Yeah.
All right. So when you open the book, this is what you find inside.
God, I can't read any of this.
Wait, that's the German newspaper. Are you sure that's what I find?
It is what you find.
That's the same German newspaper.
It's the exact same German newspaper as the one you found on the train that you have in your bag right now.
I will pull it out and compare because I cannot believe that.
They're identical.
This is the newspaper from the train. This is the exact newspaper from the train. The room looks like dusty and untouched, right?
This one? Yeah.
How did this get in here?
Is yours still in your backpack?
I pulled it out to compare.
Oh.
They're identical.
So no, it's not still in your backpack. It's in your head.
Thing on in the rest of the book is...
Sorry, you're cutting out? What's up?
Is that newspaper just sitting on top and then there's more to the book?
So when you flip through it, you can see the content of the book for about... let's see, how long is it? So the book itself, like the big old wooden book, it's about 24 pages long, and it matches the first 24 pages of your newspaper.
I just got kicked out of Fantasy Grounds.
That's weird.
Rejoining. But anyway, newspaper.
Weird.
Echo, you said nobody's been here in a while, right?
That's correct. No one really uses this. I think the last person to come in this room was probably Kiritsugu 11 years ago.
How old is that newspaper?
2 days?
Oh, what?
3 days?
It was the current newspaper. That was just from the day that you were on the train.
I got it from the train.
Oh.
It's identical to, apparently it was a big newspaper. It's identical in every way. All of the, I know you can't read it, but it says all of the same thing.
I think you cut out there for a second again.
We should definitely get Kwaku. I think this is definitely magic. My best guess is that it magically displays the news so that the people in the castle can keep up with current events.
Oh.
I wonder how old not this newspaper, the company that makes it, how old they are. They've been around for a long time. Maybe the book just automatically updates with the latest of that newspaper. Would be my best guess. Otherwise, someone has been in here very recently, and that seems unlikely because of... And I just gesture at all of the dust.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably call Kwaku up here. Also, this is in there. She picks up the stick.
That, I think, might get us into the books.
Gotta go try the stick.
Oh dear. I guess I'll go get Kwaku.
Woohoo! Stick time.
Are these happening at the same time?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, holding the stick, you can tell that it is a wand. You've seen wands before.
Yep.
You don't really know what the wand's go word is.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't think about that.
Oh, no. I don't think so. She's just gonna use the wand to, like, poke.
Are you just poking it? Okay, yeah, you poke it. It gets poked.
Oh my God. Wand, go! Do the thing! Let me read the book! Echo!
Don't look at me. I don't use the library. I don't even go in.
You know more German than I do.
That's true.
Do you have any idea of any words that might work?
Not particularly. It's not my kind of magic.
Oh, damn it.
Cut to me on the stairs, just like...
Yeah, you're just like going up and down the stairs. Like we're doing the two cuts back and forth, where it's just like it cuts to Penelope like poking the glass with the stick. Cuts to Annis casually walking down the stairs. Cuts to Penelope like freaking out and yelling at it. Cuts to Annis casually walking down the hallway towards Kwaku.
Just saying any German word you can remember, regardless.
Oh god. 9. Dankeschön. Kindergarten.
I kind of want to make that the keyword now.
Schnitzel?
Start saying like Russian words.
Just start throwing random words. I don't know. Just gotta go back into the office and just like explore around and see if there's anything else in there that might help.
It's rummaging for other words.
Like other words, maybe like a password or something.
You are free to look.
Boom. Oh, no.
Oh, it teased you.
Oh no. It was almost a 19.
It was almost a 19. That was cruel. It actually sat on that 19 for a while, too.
Yeah, I'm upset.
Real dice will also do that to you, but at least then you know it's just the reality physics engine breaking down.
Ugh. Penelope's just gonna like sigh and huff and like cross her arms and be like, damn it. Don't know what to do. Just like go back in there and start poking the glass again.
Okay, well, while you're poking the glass, you notice that the indentions in the glass are a bit larger than the end of the wand. Like it's been like the glass, whatever is scratching the glass is bigger than the wand.
Shit. Well. Okay, so I don't think that's gonna work. Gonna check one more time to see if I find anything that might work.
Go for it. You've got time since it's a little bit of a walk down and back up.
Construction on this castle is so cool. They fit bricks together so well as I'm just like
Oh my God.
casually walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
Don't need to rush. Don't want to fall down them or anything.
So is that another Penelope investigation?
That wasn't the Penelope investigation. It was like a 4.
Oh, that's a different roll from last time. Okay.
Wait, did it show up?
I
No.
don't see it.
Oh!
Roll again.
Oh, the roll again!
Yeah, I don't
Sometimes
see your original one. Like the last one I see is the 3.
if you do it too forcefully, sometimes it bounces out of
Oh,
the.
you rolled a 3 again.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
That's amazing.
It's all your fault, Shelly. Somehow.
Penelope's just crying. She's like, oh my god. How did I get myself in this mess?
All right, Echo's gonna poke her head in and see you crying, and now she's gonna make an investigation roll too. I hope she also rolls a 3.
That was such bad.
She got that 19 that you almost got before.
Go, Echo, go!
Oh, look, there's a closet.
Oh
You kept rolling 3s and didn't notice the closet.
You were looking so intently that you didn't even notice the closet.
I guess there's a closet.
You're leaning against the closet right now.
She's just gonna like reach up and push open the door. She's just like,
Oh, that's great. Okay, so yeah, you open up the closet, and inside the closet you find another one of those spheres that's used for cleaning.
That makes sense.
oh good, another shower stone.
You can have it if you want it.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Take a page from the Anna's book and just
Yep.
steal things.
Gonna take a page from the Anna's book of castle exploring and just pocket it.
Just give me that.
Oh, if you think about it, I stole the vegetables too.
You're a celebrated looter.
Good for the plants. Don't worry about it.
Thief.
All right, I'm gonna
You're not a thief.
drop another cleansing stone in the inventory. Oh, it took it out of yours. Never mind. Hold on. Let me do that right. I'm just going to make it 2. That's easier. You can each grab 1 back.
Cool. Hooray.
Okay, about this point, you can get back with Kwaku, assuming you told him what you were doing.
How strange, my cleansing stone left my bag, and oh, there it is again. Never mind, I just misplaced it. Anyway,
So
hi,
clumsy.
Kwaku. Come with me.
Oh, okay. How is the castle?
Interesting. We found a library. Well, we found a cleansing stone. And then we found a library, and there's a book that has that has an exact copy of what my newspaper from the train reads as.
What?
Yes, it's very weird. It's the live local news.
That's in the,
thinking
like, are you showing him the book right now?
I don't know if I took the book with me. I feel like I probably left it.
Okay.
Like it's most likely magic, or someone has been here very recently and made an exact copy of the newspaper. It's very weird. Did it have like the name and like the date and stuff in it?
It was like on the outside, it's still like the wooden bound book, but on the inside, all of the pages matched it exactly, down to the pictures, down to the copyright print, down to everything.
Oh, just an exact copy of that newspaper, and I don't know how it got in here, other than magically, because there's so much dust in the room. And we're just having a hard time. We found a book about golems and can't get to it, and I figured your expertise was probably necessary.
Okay. You're back up there. Like, I don't think you took yourself off the map before, so you can just move back up if you want.
Yeah, I figure the walk...
yeah, there was no reason to move you through, like, 5 maps to do that.
And I explained during the walk.
Cool, you've caught him up now.
Penelope?
Penelope's just like in the closet, just like sniffling, like, I can't do this, guys.
Are you okay?
I've been sitting on the closet door the whole time and I can't get anything to work. I don't know German. I can't do this.
So anyway, here's the book.
Okay, so you hand him the book.
And I'll show him the newspaper.
That's fascinating. So you hand him the book.
From the train, but it's this newspaper.
All right, so you're holding the newspaper and you've handed him the book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When he opens the book, it has different writing in it.
What the... Excuse my language. What the shit? It's writing I don't recognize.
The writing is in Japanese.
Do you have any books with you or on you?
Yes, I've got a book that I picked up when I was in Japan recently.
Is it that?
It is.
Penelope, do you have any books
I don't. I'm gonna open this one. She opens it.
You're gonna open what?
The book that everybody else has been looking at.
What is it blank or?
That's what I want to know.
This is gonna kind of give it away, but which of them are you standing closer to?
I don't know.
I mean, Kwaku had the book, so probably him.
Okay, well then it's still in Japanese.
Oh shit, it's more stuff I can't read. Wait, no, this is different from what it was a minute ago when you had it.
Yes, it's
Oh.
apparently a book that Kwaku picked up in Japan.
Okay, wait, hold on. Hand me the book. Take the book from Kwaku.
No, I thought you had the book.
No. I thought Kwaku had the book.
I thought you took the wooden book from Kwaku.
Oh, then yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And
Ignore
then,
me.
and then because you're standing closer to him, it's showing the Japanese text.
Sorry, Penelope's half a brain cell just rubbed off on me there.
No, it's all good. So yeah, when you lean over and you show it to Annis in Japanese, the page flips and it's back to the German newspaper.
Well, this is an interesting book. Not quite as magical or interesting as I thought it was, but
Is that just displaying the closest book?
Maybe.
I believe so.
Oh my god!
Oh wait, yes,
She
that's
just,
how
like,
we read.
Penelope just takes the book and like bolts into the library.
That's it. That's how we read. That's how we read the book. Oh, you're a genius, Penelope.
No, I'm not. Shut up. She just holds it up to the glass and is like, "Let me see the book."
And it shows you the contents of a book.
It's in.
I can't read this.
The language.
You still can't read it, but yes, you can see what's presumably inside of these sealed away books, so long as that is the closest book to it.
Guys, it works.
I'm gonna come over and see if I can read it. Does it change to my German newspaper when I get close?
If you get closer to it than it is to the glass, yes. If you set down the German newspaper and walk closer, no.
Yeah, I'll definitely set down the newspaper and walk over.
Okay, so you're looking at the Golem book?
Yes, can I read it?
You can. Like, it is in German, but you can piece together the German, even though it's very old,
Yeah.
between your, in general, being a mage and your modern German. You can get enough of what's going on there to figure it out. It's got a series of ingredients, like, so to speak, like, you know, the things that you would need to make one and then to bind a soul to it.
I'm gonna write down the recipe on that parchment I got earlier.
Go for it.
Fancy.
And any notes
Do
about,
do me an Arcana check.
Oh,
I want to
please
see
go.
how familiar you are with golems in the first place.
Oh dear, probably not very.
Because, like, if you're familiar, this is obviously a lot easier. That's actually enough to have the baseline knowledge that, so normally when people make golems, it takes a manual, and one of the last steps of building a golem is to destroy the manual. But in this case, the fact that you're able to copy it to parchment means this is different. This is unusual. You normally can't copy a golem manual. There's something magic about them. But in this case, it's not like that. This is a different kind of golem than all of the kinds of golem you've ever heard of before. Which might explain why the golem they have here is named 8 in German.
That's true. I will do my best to copy the manual, the pieces the parts of it I need at least.
Mm-hmm.
Are there, obviously there are weird ingredients.
There are weird ingredients, but oddly enough, they're not super strange or foreign concept things. You're not going to have to go on like a crazy quest. But one thing that is critical is that core. It seems like from what you're reading this, the way that golems work are that if you have the core from the previous golem, you just build a new body around it so that you don't actually have to do all of the crazy advanced magic to bind a soul to it or any of that. You're just essentially building a new body for it. And you can do that using a lot of materials that are more commonly available for alchemists.
Well, I've got the recipe to make it a new body, but we do still need that core.
Penelope is gonna try and open this door
Sure.
after handing Annis the book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Da-na-na-na.
It's empty.
It is yet another coat room. It's like all three of these things are entrance to special areas that are used mostly for staging.
I don't know why I thought that would be helpful.
Hey, you filled out most of this side of the floor now.
Yeah, true.
Oh, check in with, I guess, Echo and Kwaku. Any other books we want to read while we're here?
I suspect I'm going to want to read a lot of them, especially if there's a book on golems. Like, Raps is sort of my specialty, but I'm definitely interested in what else could be applied. As you know, a great deal of effort goes into creating Raps.
Right.
So the ability to perhaps give Raps a new body would be appreciated.
Well, and I'll just show him where I was able to copy the manual down. Well, you'll be interested to know that you can copy this manual down. It's not a normal thing.
That is fascinating. The core might be a problem. I think the core for Raps is going to be somewhat different, but the principles here could be useful. I've never been able to repair a golem, but perhaps we could use this to actually help him.
Oh, perhaps, yes.
Well,
Echo's taking a look over your shoulder at this list too.
Right.
We might actually have a lot of this in storage.
I think we probably do.
The old man tends to have things like that around. Like, it would make sense for him to have enough pieces to make a new one. We keep a lot of storage downstairs near the bath.
Oh, speaking of bath, Kwaku, and I just kind of pull out the stone and just kind of like, touch this, it'll be like you've taken a bath and laundered your clothes and gotten rid of everything.
Oh, sure. He pokes it. Exactly that happens. It's like prestidigitation. Excellent.
I also offer it to Echoville.
She sort of cautiously pokes it and gets the same effect. Interesting. Well,
anyway, I guess I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Whoosh. Out of curiosity, is Penelope still carrying around that stick?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we forgot to ask about the stick.
She'd be like, Kwaku!
Yes?
I found one.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what to do with it.
All right, he's gonna reach out and pick it up, and he's just gonna give it a quick inspection. And because he has the spell and he likes to use it, he's just gonna cast Identify on it. And then he's gonna hand it back to you, and I'm gonna add it to your inventory so you can see what it is.
Oh boy.
Hooray!
I was eating some ice cream and then I got cold, as you do, so I had to get a jacket.
I mean, that all makes sense. All right. In the party sheet you go.
1-1.
Except now it's identified.
1 wand of magic detection. Ooh.
That's probably very useful for an archivist.
Yeah?
Would imagine.
Well, archivists ain't here anymore. So I guess it's mine now.
Yep. Just as a recap of how wands work in 5th edition, this wand has 3 charges in it. And when you're holding it, you can spend a charge and an action to cast Detect Magic. And then every day, it'll regain 1d3 charges.
What did I just click? Oh, I don't know what I just clicked.
So at the beginning of the day, if it's lost any charges, you roll a d3 to determine how many it gets back.
Yep. And I
Okay.
believe that's automated, but if it's not, I'll program it in later.
Cool.
But essentially, like, unlike the scroll, you can use this a lot more often.
Yeah.
One thing to note, though, is that Detect Magic itself is a concentration spell that lasts up to 10 minutes. So if you already have another concentration thing going and you use it, then it'll break your concentration. It still needs the concentration part, but other than that, yeah, that's how it works. You get a 30-foot radius of determining if there is magic.
Fun. Well, yay! I have a cool stick. Unless you want it.
You found it. You can hold on to it.
Sweet.
I'm going to check. I'm just going to browse through the rest of the books and see if there are anything that are interesting or that's something I would personally want to read, I guess.
Sure. So do an investigation check.
Whee!
While she's doing that, Penelope is gonna wander back off into where that closet was.
Lots of threes today.
Threes are popular. Okay, I mean, like, looking around, this wasn't really like a hard thing since you have time. It just means that nothing really jumps out to you immediately. Although you personally might find one of the books a little more interesting than the others, because that book is entitled "The Lady of the Lake," and interestingly enough, it's over on a shelf immediately adjacent to that exit that goes into the grotto.
Yeah, well, definitely. I'm not like read it cover to cover, I guess, but just kind of flip through it and see what catches my eye.
Yeah, I mean, like, as noted, since no one's in a hurry, you only really get 24 pages out of this. But all of the books here are short because of the process that goes into them.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not as much of a limitation as it sounds like. It might matter more if you're trying to, like, crib a novel in a Barnes & Noble. But for the purposes of cribbing, like, these old books, that's about how long they are. Yeah, so the Lady in the Lake book, as you're reading over it, it's in Old German, but it specifically refers to the students of the lake, and that there are people that have learned their magic directly from the Lady of the Lake of Arthurian mythology. The way that it works is, for whatever reason, they get her favor, and she appears to them in bodies of water. They look into the water, and they can see her on the other side of it, as if there's a reflection for someone who isn't actually standing next to them. And she is the one that teaches them magic. And then there's a small cautionary tale in it about someone who stared into a lake and fell in love with her, and in an attempt to join her, drowned.
And it was a specific lake, I imagine, the lake.
Well, actually, it's a series of short stories that go into this. Those are the main takeaways. There's about 3 or 4 stories spread out over it. They're all at different lakes. Like, the only thing consistent is that they're bodies of water that are smooth enough that you can see a reflection. And that each time this happens, it's at night on a full moon.
Okay. So there's not like a keyword, it's not a specific one. It's just they look into a lake at night on a full moon, they see the Lady of the Lake, she teaches magic.
She teaches them a spell and then disappears, but one person tried to follow her and drowned.
Interesting. I'll kind of jot down some notes about it. Does anyone else want to use the book? To read books? What a weird library.
Penelope comes back with, like, an armful of clothes. I mean, I can't read any of this, so,
Good point.
Find anything good?
Found Tales of the Lady of the Lake is in the one from Arthurian legend, I believe.
The what now?
The Lady of the Lake. She gave off a sword.
Oh.
It's just a collection of short stories. It's nothing.
What does it say about?
She appears in the lake at night during a full moon. If you look into the lake, you will see her in the reflection. You will see her standing behind you, and she will teach you a magic. But don't fall in love with her because you will drown. Essentially, it's the cliff notes. Cliff notes probably existed, but I don't think she'd know about that.
Yeah.
The the abridged version of Tales, essentially.
That's okay, so funny thing about that, that's kind of how I learned the stuff I know.
By looking into a lake.
Kind of? Like, I had this teacher who, like, we went to a lake at one point, and then there was, like, some kind of fey lady in the water.
Well, that does sound like her. Are there any pictures in the book?
Yeah, actually, let me... I think I have it loaded in here. Let me confirm.
I am concerned right now.
Also, Annis would know what phase of the moon is going to be happening.
Like, tonight?
Yeah.
Let me check. Oh, I thought it was built in. It's not. Hold on. Let me actually check then. I thought I added a thing that tells you that in the calendar feature, but that may not have survived the jump to Unity. Okay, so you're in the first quarter moon right now.
Oh well.
Womp womp.
We're right by a lake.
It's true. Although this might actually explain a little bit about why there's a body of water in the next room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Huh.
I assumed it had to be a lake, not just a little pond.
Little pond. But yeah, no, that's so weird.
So I'll flip to the page that has a picture. I'm assuming like a sketch or a drawing.
Yeah, it's an artistic rendering of her, which I think I have, but I didn't put it in the Fantasy Grounds folder because I can't find it. So I will take a look for that, but...
Can I roll an Arcana check?
Go for it. What are you trying to figure out?
If that's the same one, or if it looks like the one I saw, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, there could be a lot of ladies and a lot of lakes. What could it really mean?
Wonder if a history check would have been. I don't know what a better check would have been.
I don't know that Arcana was the right check.
I don't know. History check.
Perception, history. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, let's do a perception check.
Oh, poor Penelope.
Uh,
If only she could inspire herself.
Yeah.
History check.
That's a... No? I mean, that's a little better.
I mean, as a bard, you are aware that like the Lady of the Lake is a common recurring theme.
Why are the dice rolling so bad?
Well, it's an artist's rendering, so it may not look exactly like her.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that's what she looks like.
All right,
Well,
I've copied the image over so I can share it now because apparently it was still in the original Fantasy Grounds gallery instead.
Oh god, I have laughed so hard my ribs hurt.
I mean, I guess that's a good reason for them to hurt at least. All right. Refresh that folder in Fantasy Grounds. Boop. Folder assets refreshed. Hooray. Oh, she's on. It's hidden on page 2. This makes way more sense. All right, cool. Here you go.
Look at her.
Yep, that looks like her.
That looks like a face. But for real though, does that look like her?
Yeah. That looks like the
shit.
lady you saw.
I moved the book just slightly, and the light hit it better, and you're like, oh,
Oh my god! Yeah, no, that's her.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's totally her.
You met the Lady of the Lake.
I guess
Interesting.
so. I mean, I did meet a lady in a lake, and that looked like her. Funky.
What was she
Yeah.
nice?
I mean, I guess.
Where? Which lake? Where did you meet? It's interesting to know that she's still operating after over 1,000 years. Definitely longer.
Yeah, I guess. Hold on, let me check. I don't
Considering-
think I actually have it written down.
Well, you can make it up right now if you want.
I don't know the lake.
I think it was while you were still traveling.
Yeah.
Where do you think you were traveling when you met her? Because you can just Google lakes in whatever and then pick the first one. You can figure it out.
Here's a good valid answer, and I'm giving it to you right now. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the lake, I'll be honest. I'd have to ask Vivi. She probably knows. I'll find out.
An interesting coincidence, at least.
I know, right?
Also, because you made the comment of, that doesn't look like fate, here you go. This isn't what she was doing, but that's what she actually looks like in Fate.
Hey,
Wow.
she looks like water.
She's like made of water and naked because Fate.
Because fate.
And she's like, I got a sword.
Good for her.
Yeah, I'm not a super big fan of that, but I did have the picture.
Hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll figure it out and I'll let you know.
So, since you're rolling stuffs, Annis can also make an Arcana check. Okay. One thing is now clicking into place for you based on your interactions with other druids in the past. And that is that most of the druids that you know practice nature magic, like the normal way, like, you know, based on the ancient runes and the druidic practices and all of that. At one point, though, you did encounter a druid who had abilities a little bit outside of the stuff that you were used to. And through the course of discussion with them, you kind of got the impression that maybe they'd made a deal with someone who might have taught them some tricks in exchange for service. And knowing everything that you know about the Fae, this makes sense if the Lady of the Lake is still around and making deals with people.
Interesting.
Which also could make for interesting things if Penelope learned something from her.
No, it said it was the short stories about the people looking into the water and getting the wish, and then the one dude drowning. Assuming it was.
Yeah, that was all that you got out of the book.
Oh.
It didn't like give a ritual for finding her or say what magic she taught them.
It didn't look like it cut off in mid-sentence at the 24-page mark, did it?
No, the last page was the picture.
Okay.
And you can kind of tell from like looking in through the glass that it looks like it's about 24 pages long. So you're probably not missing any pieces.
Still don't have any leads on where this core might be, unfortunately.
Some round.
So one thing that I didn't describe before that might help you now. So when you were copying over all of the information about the golem, you did get a sketch in there of what the core looks like.
Oh, good.
I should have said that before. I forgot about it entirely. So I'm going to share you a picture of that.
I'm gonna roll. I'm rolling a d6 to determine something for me. Okay, I've determined that Annis is at least passably good at art. If I'd rolled like a 3 or lower, she was gonna be like first grade level terrible. But
You get like an XKCD picture.
But no, like I imagine she's fairly good because she has to like keep track of which plants are the ones that'll like make you die versus which ones are the ones that are good in potions. So she probably would have sketched what the core looked like.
Yeah. So.
In addition to copying over the recipe and.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to at least grayscale it out since you drew it, but.
Was it in color in the book?
No, I'm just grayscaling it out because it's a little bit more makes sense if you're penciling it. The picture I have is in color, but that makes no sense for the book you got it out of. So, thankfully, that's something I can do on the fly now.
Cool.
So it looks like this.
Ooh, how big do I feel like it might be? Do I have any...
Echo described it as being about the size of a human heart.
Okay. Still pretty out of place in a castle, but probably not easy to find.
Yeah, that doesn't really match the aesthetic of what you're familiar with of alchemy. This might be another weird thing from Atlas. Just very old. But yeah, looking over it, it looks very metallic. Looks like it would probably be made of, like, just from the materials in the book, like it's clearly made of bits of, like, you know, iron, steel, brass, things like that. Is that what we're looking for?
I believe so.
You're a good artist.
Oh, thank you. I'm used to drawing plants, but this wasn't too much more difficult.
If I tried to draw that, it would probably just look like a balloon. Cool.
How do you think it would get away from the body?
Question.
Like, assuming from what I overheard you saying before, it's something that he might have taken out so that it wasn't crushed, but something would have to move it, or I guess he could have just left it lying around somewhere, but that sounds unlikely given how important it is.
Okay, so I have locate object, but I don't have it prepared. can I ritual cast it?
Are you a ritual caster?
Probably not.
I don't actually remember if druids are ritual casters. Let's see. I don't think you are.
Don't think so.
I think that's really just a wizard and I think arcanist thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't have it prepared for today, but if we sleep in the morning, I have locate object, so I could cast that to see if we could find it.
That sounds good. I don't really think we're leaving immediately anyway. We've probably still got to... Well, I suppose someone's going to have to build this new golem, and that's probably going to be me based on the present company, so I'll be here for a while. That still takes time.
I don't really have any pressing anything going on. This was my destination.
I don't have anything pressing going on, but my manager did show up. He figured out where we ended up. He's over at the saloon.
Oh.
I just have to call him and let him know if we're gonna be a few days. But he said he's gonna go check in with Gunter, I guess.
Annis and Penelope, both of you make an intelligence check. I want to see if you remember something.
Be a 2.
Oh.
Hold on.
My.
There we go. I was like, wait. Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Aye.
All right, so Penelope, while you're thinking back to, calling your manager at the saloon, it occurs to you that a few days ago when you first got here, you met a man from the Mages Association who asked you to go take care of a ghost problem before he has to call in the Mages Association for help.
Oh no, Crosby.
Well, we took care of the ghost situation, didn't we?
You did, but no one told him that.
Oh my god, we need to talk to Crosby.
True.
Hold on. Does anybody know the number for the saloon? Can I get this going?
Coville?
I don't even know the number for the saloon.
I don't use phones.
I thought so. Of course I don't know.
Wait, hold on. I could just call my manager. He's got his phone on him. And I could tell him to go look for Crosby. Or we could just go back. And then come back for Quackle later. I'm going to try that first thing, though. That'll save us some time. Alright, she's gonna...
You can take the shortcut to the phone now. You've got a key.
True.
Oh, that's true.
She picks up the phone.
While she's doing that, I guess I'll check out the rest of the books that are kind of in that area near the door to the grotto.
Okay.
Close to where I am reading the Lady of the Lake book, I guess. See what's around.
Okay. So we'll do the phone call part first, and then we'll jump back to that.
Okay.
All right. So you calling them back?
Calling him back.
Bring. Yes, hello.
Hi, it's me again.
Are you still safe?
As far as I know.
Good.
Oh, okay, I have a huge favor to ask of you because I am a dumbass and forgot about a thing that we were doing.
Okay.
Okay, so, there's this guy. He's probably around there at the saloon somewhere. His name is Crosby. He works with the Mages Association.
But don't we not like them?
I mean, in general, yeah. But like, he's a nice guy. He kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, it's really charming. But anyway, so we came out to this castle to kind of help him with a thing, and we forgot to tell him that we actually finished the thing we were doing. And if we didn't tell him that we finished or didn't come back, he was gonna call the Mages Association to come in, and we don't want that. So can you find him?
Sure. I'll take a look around. Like I'm actually just arriving now. Hold on. I'll head inside.
Okay.
All right. So you can hear him walking up. He opens the door and you can hear some general rumbling in the background. Howdy, partner. And you can hear the groaning of everyone in the room except for Gunter. And then you can sort of hear a little bit of back and forth. Yes, I'm looking for a Crosby. Oh, hey there. Who are you? And you can sort of hear this going on in the background as he's explaining the situation back and forth. Oh, okay. So it's good then. I believe so. Yes, I believe. Whatever the situation that I don't understand has been taken care of.
Put me on the phone with him.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. Here you are, sir.
We did it.
Oh, hey, you're on the other end of this thing. All right. I don't use these too often, but yeah, good. So you took care of all of the spooky problems.
Yep, we did.
Good. Did you get hurt? Is everything okay?
I mean, a tree is dead, but we're good.
Is it supposed to be dead? Because that does happen to those over time.
It needed to be dead. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's a weird thing to tell me, but I believe was the tree the reason there were ghosts?
Yeah.
But that's a weird trait for a tree.
Yeah, no, it was an evil tree, kind of.
Oh, that's weird.
It was draining mana from like a bunch of things. It wasn't nice.
That's not what trees are supposed to do.
No.
Okay, but you killed it.
I mean, yeah, I threw grenades at it.
You have grenades?
I do now.
You found grenades?
I found grenades. And the guy's passport.
Oh. Okay. I didn't realize that you found a grenade passport. It must be American. So what you're telling me though is that there's no more ghosts, so I don't need to call in a cleanup team and then have a very miserable weekend.
Absolutely not. Do not call them.
Good, because I was gonna have to soon. You kind of disappeared on me for a few days.
I mean, not my fault. There was a tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna have questions about that later. But so, are you coming back? Like, should I expect to see you here? Do you need me to come rescue you from a dead tree?
I mean, hold on. Puts her hand over the mouthpiece. Guys, do we want to try and go back now, or do we want Crosby to hang around for a couple of days? Like, what do we want? Okay, don't think anybody heard me. We'll be back.
It's at this point you remember that the wall seemed to absorb the knocking sound.
I hate this castle. But yeah, I mean, we'll be back soonish.
Okay, because if I don't get those earrings back, my daughter's going to be pissed.
Oh no, you will get them back, I promise.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just stay here for a day or two, and if you're going to be away longer, I guess call this nice gentleman, assuming he'll be here, and he'll let me know.
Yeah, he'll take care of you, don't worry.
Okay, if you say so. I'm just going to be here eating this chili for good or ill.
Don't.
What's the number for the saloon?
Oh God, Crosby, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the number for the saloon?
Let me check. And
Whatever.
you hear him leaning over. Hey, cowboy. What do people use to call you? No. Number, not mean words. What do they call to get you with the number on the phone? Okay, is that like with a 1? Oh, okay, just making sure because German's not my first language either. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, then he comes back with you. Okay, so here's the number, and then he spits out a bunch of numbers in German at you.
All right, and she just punches this into her black brain. All right, cool.
I hope you know what those are, because I don't.
Don't worry, I got this. It's fine. So yeah, you hang tight for a couple of days. We'll be back with your earrings, so your daughter doesn't try and like set you on fire.
She would. She would do it. She's adorable, and I love her. She is also capable of a lot.
I need to meet this child. Oh,
she takes a lot after her mother, who is very much capable of burning people.
Awesome. I mean,
it's why I love her, but also why I fear her.
Oh dear. Well, okay. Cool. But yeah, so you hang tight. We'll bring you your earrings, and yeah.
But just to confirm, all of the ghost problems are gone.
As far as I'm aware.
Okay. Because I'm going to report that they're gone, and if any ghosts show up and after I say that there's no more ghosts, that's going to be problematic for everyone here, because then they're not going to believe me when I say there's no more ghosts anymore.
I mean, if you tell them we've got it under control, that should be fine, right?
Do the Einzberns have their ghosts under control?
Yes.
That is good enough.
Okay.
All right, this man has been staring at me for a while now, and I think he wants his phone back, so I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah.
All right,
thank you.
You stay alive.
All right, you too.
Okay, based on what I overheard there, because he didn't understand that speakerphone was on, I take it it'll be a little bit before you get back. So I'm just going to get a room, like I said before, and I will wait. But if you need me to come to you, just let me know.
Will do. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back soon. One of the buddies I met on the train has a thing to do, and he doesn't know how long it's going to take him to do it. So I'll keep you updated now that I actually have a way to update you.
Yes, that's good. I'm glad you're safe. I guess while you're out here, if you come up with any new songs or anything that we could use, then I can write this off as a business expense.
Oh hell yeah! Let's do. Give me 10 minutes. I'll come up with something.
I know you will. That's why you're wonderful.
Yay! All right. Well, cool. Then I will see you when I see you.
All right. Very good. Just check in at least once a day.
Don't eat the chili. Don't do it.
Okay.
Just trust me on this one. Just don't do it.
Right. I will not eat the chili.
Good. All right. Later.
Goodbye.
Hangs up the phone.
Click.
Okay. Runs back through.
All right. While you were doing all of that, Annis has been perusing books again. Most of the books that you actually find in here are reminiscent of fairy tales or epics, like old things. That you kind of get the impression that the Einzberns already had a decent collection of things like this before they got the idea to do a Holy Grail War. Like maybe they just already had an extensive collections on stuff. The most interesting one that you actually found over here is it's what's it called? I'm gonna get you the German title so it's more fun and authentic.
Well, it's probably not the Epic of Gilgamesh then.
No. Actually, okay, so I can't pronounce this. Never mind. I'm just gonna tell you. So yeah, you find a book that is going into pretty deep with some Norse mythology. It's telling the tale of Siegfried and the Valkyries, which is fitting for the region that you're in now. But there's one thing in it that stands out to you, and this seems like something about it just seems important to you, and it's the mention of the Rheingold.
Kim does not know what that is. Does Annis?
Annis can roll history.
A 1 or a 2?
That's a good roll. So you would be more familiar with the Wagner version of the story, but it's similar enough to what's written here that you're fine. But yeah, specifically, it's referring to the story of the hero Siegfried, who slays a dragon and does a lot of generally heroic things, but one day he's betrayed, and that leads to his downfall. And then the actual story following that goes into the tale of what happened with that dragon's treasure, like all of the gold from that dragon, and the betrayals and the deceptions and everything that went into it. It actually seems kind of hobbity to you as someone who has read that as well. But the important thing to take away from this, from the way that you're reading it now, is that the gold itself is cursed, and it seems to be a curse that falls on anyone who tries to amass it all. Which is sort of an odd thing to find in here, but it seems to be like something about it just stands out to you. Like, you obviously can't touch the book itself, but because you're getting an imprint of the book via the one that you are using, you can see that someone touched this book at some point, and the page describing the cursed gold seems to have gotten more attention than the rest of them. Like, it has more wear and tear that sort of gets copied over to the book itself.
Interesting.
Find anything good?
More legends and tales and things. Tale about this Siegfried that slayed a dragon and what became of the dragon's treasure and all that. Certainly not a manual on golems.
No. Sounds cool though.
Yeah, other than that, when you're wandering around, most of the things that you find are like myths or legends or things like that. The golem manual is a weird exception. Although you also find some things that aren't quite, like, you didn't see them before because you were specifically looking for the golem book, but you do find some additional documentation that isn't as old as the rest of it. It's something that was just stored in here. And that documentation seems to, by comparison to the rest of them, be maybe a few hundred years old as opposed to over 1,000. But it's not a book. So, like, waving the book in front of it doesn't seem to do anything. It seems one of the limitations on your magic book is that it actually has to be some kind of longer form literature. You can't just use it to get a page or two. But that's the only thing you found in this entire library that seems to be newer. Like, it's actually printed on paper, not on This really old, like, animal skin vellum stuff.
But it's still behind glass.
It's still behind protective glass. You're sort of getting the vibe that maybe that was actually just put there to keep there.
Were you able to get in contact with Crosby?
Ooh, I did. And I got the number for the saloon, so I can just call them a little more directly than calling my men.
Oh, good.
But he's not gonna send the Mages Association out anymore, so that's good.
Yes.
Yeah. He does still want his earrings back.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Yeah, I did too. Apparently his daughter can set things on fire.
Oh.
So we definitely want to give those back.
Quite.
Yeah.
Well, guess we can find this core and figure out how long it might take to the golem running.
Why is this castle so big?
Quite a lot of questions.
Because it's real.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
If only we could figure out who or what took the core. It would have had to have been fast in order to get the core before being crushed. At least I assume that's what happened.
And we know for sure that the core was not down there where the tree was. Right?
We don't know that for sure. We've looked around, but we didn't know what the core looked like before.
You didn't see anything in the body, and Echo said that it wasn't there. That's kind of what you're going on right now.
I wonder if the obelisk in the lab would know. If we could talk to it somehow, maybe it would know where the core is.
Maybe.
Or we can get a good night's rest, and I can just cast locate object in the morning.
I mean, that would be the easiest thing to
There
do.
are plenty of beds here, but they're also all
A little
gross. Years old.
Yeah,
so
no, no.
From a few rooms over. Well, the master bedroom has been recently maintained. And
I mean,
we do have the guest rooms as well if you would like to use those. They're kept clean.
Oh yeah, because the bedroom, the room that we went through when we found the grotto in the first place, that had a clean bed.
Clean, yes, but
it's not old.
That's true. I was thinking of the ones on the 6th floor.
Oh yeah, no, we're not gonna sleep up there. That's gross.
I mean, they look clean enough, but I feel if I put any weight on them at all, they would just crumble to dust.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, like the one in the other room looked like newer.
And I can always sleep outside in a pile of leaves. I don't.
The leaves.
That's how I sleep a lot.
Oh no.
It's the natural forced way of protecting me from the cold with the leaves.
But they're a blanket.
That's true.
And that's the bed's way of protecting you from the cold.
Is it?
Yes. I mean, you don't have to sleep outside. There's plenty of places to sleep. Probably. I
You
mean,
can sort of hear from the other room, Quackum, well, I'll sleep in the guest room.
Quacko, you don't have to sleep in the leaves either.
He's not a druid, though. Why would he sleep in the leaves?
I don't know.
I don't think all druids do that, but you would know better than I would.
Annis is just quiet.
Penelope just has her hands on her hips like,
I like sleeping.
In the back of her mind, Annis is like, I'm going to win the Grail War, and then you're all going to sleep in the leaves.
Man, let's take this opportunity. Sleep in a nice, cozy bed. And then wake up in the morning, find this thing, get this done, and then get that out of here. Yeah.
It's like a plan to me. Suppose where's it? I'm assuming there are kitchens here. There surely are kitchens here.
Ooh.
I can make some food.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the kitchens are downstairs.
I mean, and I just reach into my backpack and pull out the thermos. We do still have
No.
the chili.
No,
The yeehaw chili.
absolutely not.
So when you pull out the thermos, you notice that all of the little bits of it that were leaking on the side from when he poured it with a ladle disappear
The cleansing stone.
Oh, right.
in the cleansing room.
Yeah, true.
Hey. Yeah, oh god, when I had my manager on the phone, I had for him. Not a good idea.
So we should have used this to kill the tree.
There's a bit of one hit KO.
Wonder if it's flammable.
What, the chili?
Yes. But
Oh,
not
no.
enough to try. I
Oh.
don't, and I just put it back.
Next time.
For the next Evil Tree Castle adventure.
Yeah, for the next evil tree we gotta kill.
It just becomes a thing. But yeah, like I feel it's going to be less of a headache. Just relax and get some sleep, and then I'll use the locate spell, and hopefully we will find it.
Yeah.
It'll be a quick process after that, hopefully.
Yeah.
None of the ingredients on that list looked like they were going to be terribly hard to find.
Cool.
But we can probably use pieces of the old body as well to make the new body. What wasn't totally crushed.
True. Kwaku probably knows more about.
That's again, it's a audio medium, but I'm nodding.
Go to.
Yeah, if we don't...
So when he heard you talking about that part, Kwaku's going to kind of walk in.
Yeah,
How do you keep doing that?
I don't know. Penelope doesn't know shit about golems.
Yep, he's going to walk back in. And Echo's like, oh, I'm going to go and I guess I'll go get the kitchen ready since you're probably going to want to eat soon.
Yes, thank you.
It'll be down on the second floor. You can't miss it.
Cool.
So she's going to go that way. Kwaku's going to walk in here. And he's going to hold his hand up and he's going to wait until you can't hear Echo walking down the stairs anymore. And then he's going to lean into the two of you and go, okay, so do we want to make the golem the same as the old one? Or do we want to make it not an asshole?
Well...
I feel like this is an ethical gray area.
That's true. Making it not an asshole will make it easier to get answers to our questions. Sure.
Because, like, the core is going to still connect back to that obelisk upstairs. And ultimately, all the information that this golem possesses is in that. But I think the golem body determines more of the demeanor. And
we don't have a way of interfacing with, just straight interfacing with the obelisk safely, probably. So, yeah, I think if we make the golem less of an asshole, that would be better for us, at least.
it would be more convenient. And also, if I'm being honest, I feel like the way the Einzberns have worked of doing the same thing over and over again forever is an absolute failure of priorities.
Lunacy. They've been trying for over 1,000 years, and they haven't yet been able to replicate what happened to make Justice. They need to do something different.
Well, what worries me is that the one thing they've done differently in the last few hundred years is the Holy Grail War, which
True.
has quite the body count at this point.
Ooh.
So I don't know. I don't think something as primary as their desire to achieve the root can be changed. Like, that's built into mages. It's just what we do. And the Holy Grail War seems to be their goal for doing it. So I don't think we could get away from that. But I do think we could adjust their priorities slightly, and that might help. Now, again, ethical gray area, but I'm kind of in favor of it.
I mean, I'm in favor also, and there's really only 2 Einzberns we could wake up one of the ones in the test tubes, I suppose. It's really a Covial or the ghost that we have to ask about this.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
She seemed like she wasn't very fond of how the golem operated, too.
Based on the stories that you told me that you saw outside, it sounded like the golem was willing to send a small girl to the wolves to teach a lesson.
Yeah, and that's not good.
I mean, if you're going to be the one building the golem, you could just say that you don't know how to make them be assholes. You know, all you know is how to make them be nice, like Raps.
Yeah, Raps is the good boy.
I'll see what I can do. Obviously, if I make too big of a change, it may reject the body, but I'll do what I can.
Like, even maybe 5 degrees less asshole would be nice.
I think it would probably also be better if we don't use the same exact model as the old one.
Oh,
I
perhaps.
get the impression that it does age, and creating it as an old man feels cruel.
Oh.
So perhaps if the 2 of you would like to weigh in, we could come up with something a bit different for... Well, I suppose if that was Oct, then this would be 9.
But wait, is it 9? No?
I can't pronounce it correctly.
I don't know German.
Neun, I believe it is 9 instead of 9. I don't know. This is not my first language, or my third, or my 5th.
How many languages do you know?
Sufficient.
Oh, jeez. I need to learn more languages, guys.
Neun, yeah. Neun, neun. Or hang on.
Honestly, we could name it whatever we want. We kind of have all the leverage here.
Neun.
I love it. That is me personally loving it. That's a penalty.
So I say if we're going to do this, we create it at the very least a younger body and perhaps a more sunny disposition.
Perhaps if we create him as a little boy.
You want to Pinocchio the golem?
No, I was just thinking that younger children have more of a better disposition, and then it would, take much longer for it to become an old man.
That's fine by me. It might take less resources if it's physically smaller.
Also, and I believe you found clothing that
I did.
would be maybe not suitable for.
She just holds up some of the clothes she pilfered.
Yes, there's clothing here that's for children and smaller people. It would take less resources if it was a little boy, as long as you don't create him as a teenager.
I would rather not do that, no. Well, it sounds like we have a plan then.
Okay, but the golem can't have this skirt. It's really cute.
Find his keeper.
Exactly.
I would never take that away from you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If you're sufficiently attached to it, I could transfer the enchantment from your other robes to that.
What? Yes. Oh my god. Please.
It's something that I can do on the side. I'm going to be here for a bit. Like, realistically, golems take months, not days, so I'll be here for a bit.
At this point, I'm just gonna pay Kwaku to do 500 million things. It's just gonna happen.
Would the fact that it's a smaller body cut down the amount of time?
A bit. Honestly, I'm making a guess The core should handle most of the hard work if we can find it. So a smaller body might cut a little bit of time out. I think that one of the actual advantages, though, will be that it will literally take less energy, which matters for things like this. Like, until the ley line recovers, it may not be able to properly charge itself anyway. I think it's a valid enough argument.
Ooh. Okay. Gosh, the month. Ooh. That's a while.
Well,
I mean, it's
considering I
definitely-
came here to learn about the ritual, I think that will give me sufficient time to...
I mean, yeah.
Like, if they're going to continue doing this Grail War, and I assume they are, then it might be a good idea to at least learn enough about it and try to weigh in so that maybe they take more care in the future. Because I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Fuyuki, and I would rather not see that happen again.
Yeah, that wasn't so good. Sorry, Kim stepped out to the bathroom. So.
That's fair. I mean, I think we're probably at a good stopping point regardless. It's kind of late.
Yeah.
And we're at the plotting point, so cool. But yeah, we accomplished plot this time.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, we'll pick that up next time. And if you want to have fun, you are welcome to design the new golem in Picru or something.
Heck yeah.
It will automatically not look like the old one because you went with a child.
Yes. Gonna design so many golems.
I guess you can also upgrade your wardrobe based on Ilya fashion.
Oh jeez, yeah. Now I gotta look that up. Oh no.
No.
Talking about designing a golem.
I know it's made out of stone, but when I was jokingly saying we should make it a little boy, I was picturing Pride from Full Metal
Oh
Alchemist.
no.
I mean, the last golem just looks like a person.
That's true.
Like,
I'm probably just gonna go to Picru and be like, boom, done.
Yeah, since we're not using like anime pictures.
yeah, you could totally do that. You're welcome to have fun with it. But yeah, like I was just saying, like we're past midnight, and this is as good of a pausing point as any, so we're just gonna chill.
Okay.
But next week, like as noted, there's gratuitously more castle to explore. You've got to find a core, so there's plenty of that. Obviously, on the D&D level, there's probably other stuff if you want to dig around and just go looking for things, as is tradition. Kwaku's probably going to be here for a while at the very least. You don't have to. You're welcome to continue on to the world. But you've resolved your loose ends, so you're not actually in a hurry for once.
Hooray.
I'm glad you passed that roll, though, because it was going to be really awkward if you come back and there's like 10 Mages Association people there causing trouble.
Yeah, just a little.
Ugh. That was so bad. Ugh. Yeah, I guess we'll figure out what's happening next week. Yay. But first, dinner.
Hurrah. Alrighty, so yep, take that. Long session on Twitch. Enjoy. And we'll check back in next week. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good night.